Maharaj on Srimad Bhagavatam. So there are 10 points in this, and each point is very much practical, digested instruction by Maharaj. So, but I want to share first 3 points, which are practice before you preach, and number 2, be sincere worker and not shirka, and number 3, Krishna is the source of maintenance. So I'll share one by one and realizations. So the first point is practice before you preach. So Maharaj explaining Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, Verse 4. That Nivritta Tarasher Upa Gya Manat. Maharaj said, we may read and try to understand, but realization is absent. Only knowledge doesn't help. Maharaj gave the example of that we know early to bed and early to rise is good for us, but by knowing it, this will not help. We have to do it, put into practice. So people see you, they don't only hear you. The American study says by hearing we learn 7%, but by seeing we learn 30%. And by associating we learn 100%. So seeing and association is not realization. If you not realizing what you preach, it doesn't have potency, only lip service. So Srila Prabhupada himself did it and showed us. Otherwise, we will be hypocrite. Dambha, and that's called Dambha, hypocrite. And malicious attitude is Darpa. So Dambha and Darpa destroy us. Devotee gave the example of donkey carrying ton of books on his back, carrying on place to another place. Doesn't have any meaning at all. So what I realize from this point is that hypocrisy has no potency. If we practicing regulation, it will show from our acharan, or how we behaving and what is our attitude. It may take some time to purify, but effort we are putting in to practice will show up. We cannot deceive Krishna, and Krishna is in everyone's heart in form of Paramatma. So he knows our intentions. So I realize that focus on our sincere effort and rest leave on Krishna. So that's how we won't become hypocrite. And now the second point is be sincere worker and not shirka. Srila Gurudev gives a reference of from Bhagavatam verse called Sthane Sthitaha Shruti Gatam Tanuvan Manobhir. You have to be situated in your own situation. Sthane Sthitaha. By doing your duties immaculately well, you free yourself from that, not by stopping the duty. You have to carry out the duties very nicely to the best of your ability. Then only you can come out. Maharaj said, Bhago nahi, jago. Means don't run, but wake up. Whichever position we are in, we should try to be serious in doing our duties. So I realize from this point is that if we do our best in our duties, we will have less disturbance. Like we follow traffic rules very nicely. Then by following nicely, we have freedom to drive without hassles. We know people following traffic rules, and then it will be less hassle in driving. Of course, some exceptions are there, but law enforcement also there to correct them. Similarly, I realize if I follow my family duties nicely, then from family side, I will have less disturbance. You cannot make everyone happy, but at least my duty I will do sincerely. Same at work and whatever I have given, I should be putting sincere effort. We sing this in the prayer also. Whatever work we given, we do our very best. We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest. So Maharaj said, those who do their duties, they can perform devotion service very nicely. If it doesn't matter, if doesn't matter which circumstances you are in, bhakti can never be conditioned. If you tell that, no, you only come to the temple and then you will be complete. Or like Christians will say, you come to church only, then you will be complete. So don't be fanatics like that. Bhakti can be performed anyway, but sincerity must be there. So I realized that this point is clear in, this point is more clear in current times where nobody was allowed to gather in temples and lockdown situations. But we are following the devotion service process at home and associating online. So nothing can stop bhakti unless we do not want to follow. As Maharaj said, sincerity must be there. Krishna will see our sincere effort. And the third point is that Krishna is the source of maintenance. Maharaj explained that our ancestors, forefathers, didn't have anything. Even then, they had unflinching faith in the Lord. Every time or the other, my mother would be very angry with my father, always because he had 10 brothers and sisters. So she was saying, you don't do anything. What is going to happen to these children? How are they going to be educated? So when she was angry, my father will not react anything. But in the evening, when the anger subsided, he was telling to my mother, you know, our Lord Ram is there. He will do everything. Really, as he told, to my surprise, everybody was married, everybody was educated. What else? We are clever also. Somebody went to foreign countries also. Wherever they are, they were happy. So this is how we don't have faith in Krishna. We put ourselves in between. That's why we make a mess of everything. Just go on with your life unflinching in devotional service and everything will be arranged. Source of maintenance is not the human being. How can a conditioned soul remove the condition of other soul? So I realize from this point is that whatever we're doing to maintain our family and ourselves, the source is Krishna. The source of maintenance is Krishna. Maharaj said also in Melo that source of maintenance and source of income are different. This point I realized that most of time we mistaken by this. We have income source, business or job, etc. But our maintenance is depend on Krishna. Who's pumping the blood in our body? Who's who digesting the food? If our health, if our wealth is gone, then there's nothing wrong. But if our health is gone, that's a different song. So the supreme maintainer is Krishna. This unflinching faith is needed in bhakti. Maharaj gave the example of forefathers. They had full faith in Krishna in any situation. Actually, this how bhakti is dynamic. Bhakti can not be conditioned. Nowadays, we got anxious by situations and forget this truth. The source of maintenance is Krishna. If he maintaining big elephants who eat tons of food in jungle, why can't he maintain us? So having faith in is the first step, and then adho shraddha, and then sadhu sangha. So the faith is important, and sincere effort, and no hypocrisy. So these 3 points are stuck to me, and well, all the points are very instructive by Maharaj. And I had the realization on these 3 points that hypocrisy won't work in bhakti, and sincere effort is needed. And most important is faith. Our faith should be 100% on Krishna, and because he is maintaining everybody. So that's what I realized, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Sanjeev Prabhu. Thank you very much for a nice realization. That's very good. Because I was thinking, that somebody has written such nicely, and it, of course, I'm not all glories to them. But then, according to our needs, I spent about 35 minutes, or 35 minutes, not 30 minutes, in structuring in the way that we can understand, because many of us have not met Maharaj. So when Maharaj takes pause, repeats some words, so I have to not edit it, but emphasize on things, comma, double. So I was hoping that everybody can read and appreciate what Maharaj is trying to say, and such nicely devotees recorded it, and devotees have transcribed it,
Yes, Prabhu, you highlighted the important points in there.
Yes,
They were really good.
That's also right. With my speculation there, with whatever inspires me there. That's very good. Wonderful. All the best. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
You're twice here, Avinash Prabhu. I see you twice in the screen. One is you, and one is your expansion.
No, I'm also surprised. Who's that Avinash Krishna?
Okay.
I don't know. We can ask them.
All right. Doesn't matter. It'll come again. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sopan Prabhu, please continue.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Amrish Prabhu, for giving us an opportunity to give us our realization. And I have almost the same realization what Sanjeev Prabhu has already given his realization. Thank you, Sanjeev Prabhu. Very nice realization. I picked up only not much point as Sanjeev Prabhu. It is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, Verse 4, which was the Amrish Prabhu has forwarded us on WhatsApp. It's a very nectarious class. I read completely, actually, and not once, twice. Sometimes it's hard to understand what Maharaj is giving us a message, but I will try my level best to few what I understood from this particularly verse. Maharaj says, which is the right medicine for the material disease. Sanjay Prabhu has already emphasized on that nivritta, that is realized form. And Maharaj says that we have got knowledge that early to bed and early to rise is good for us, but have you understand that knowledge thoroughly? Unless you go to the bed early and get early, it is good. But Maharaj says that is good, but that knowledge will not help you unless you do it like in Krishna, like in Krishna consciousness. The same thing is, how are we following? Am I following that like an early to bed and early to rise? For that, we need to practice and given an example to others. So Srila Gurudev has given an example that some people, they get up at 12 o'clock and they give a lecture on early to bed and early to rise. So there are people, those Hippocratic people, they see you, but they don't only hear you, like, we only hear you. But as Sanjay Prabhu has given an example, there was one research, Maharaja said, there's one research carried out in America. saying that hearing is only 7%, seeing is 30%, but associating, we learn 100%, and which is, I mean, yes, for me, what I see that because of the association of the devotees, good devotees here in wecan-mvg group, I learn so many things. I mean, there would be like, heaps of list, like, and if I say that, that's each and everything, like, it's like, pointed out, I got because of this association, because what I am standing, I am speaking here, that is also because of association. What knowledge I am getting it, that is also association. That association helped me a lot in my devotional service. So Maharaj has given an example. I mean, what Prabhupada has given, the tons of knowledge. That knowledge, I mean, everybody knows. But I mean, like, I came in Krishna consciousness long back, but I never thought of that. But just because of the association, I started reading the Srila Prabhupada's book and following his knowledge. It is not easy, but I try my level best to understand. We didn't have any idea we were running after anybody. Like what I was, like, I was doing a lot of meditation program, going in different gurus program, but still I never used to be happy in that particular program. I named the thing, I mean, I got almost 10 to 12 different programs attended before coming to Hare Krishna program, and I never used to stay there for like, more than a year or so. And I was hankering for something, like what the material people, they're hankering for the money, and I was really hankering for something, peace. And one day when I came across, I had been to temple and I heard first Amrish Prabhu's lecture, and since then till now, my journey is really going smooth, slow and steady, and that is the really importance of association. And so Maharaj says that how can one can afford to leave Prabhupada's writing? If it is like, it is suicide. If you neglect without any motive, he is giving the whole thing in a very simple language, very simple English. So we must follow what Srila Prabhupada has given us, that knowledge. Please, so Maharaj says, please don't leave Prabhupada, otherwise you don't have any knowledge. Only, so my realization from this particular is that to only hear about Krishna, engage mind in Krishna, engage mind in bhakti, be sincere and Krishna, and be faithful, have a faith. And when you are sincere, when you are doing everything in like, sincerity and with honesty, Krishna will see you, and the result will see very, like, and then don't wait for the what I'm getting it, or what I should have this, I should have that. But no, only the faith, and leave it everything on Krishna. Everything will follow what we need, especially in spiritual. So this is my realization from this verse. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Sopan Prabhu. Very nice, very nice. Now, today we have Divyanshi is not able to join us, and she is traveling with the family to London. So she's probably, I don't know, maybe traveling or in the plane already or something. But she had informed her tutor and the group leader Avinash Prabhu beforehand, and she messaged us in the morning also, and she has written her realization and gone. She said, I don't want to miss this program. Unfortunately, I have to miss it. So she wrote 2-page realizations given to me. So is it okay, Boo? Would you like to read, Avinash Prabhu, or should I read, or have you got it with you?
No, Prabhuji, she has given to you, not to me.
Okay, all right. So probably then I'll read the realization there, what she has to give. Okay, this is from her. Hare Krishna. So Yato yato nischalati manasah manashchanchalam asthiram tatastato niyamaitad atmani eva vasham nayet. Translation: from wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions some very important points. Prabhupada says the nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self realized yogi has to control the mind. The mind should not control him. One who controls the mind and therefore the senses as well is called Goswami or Swami. And one who is controlled by the mind is called Godas or the servant of the senses. A Goswami knows the standard of sense and sense happiness. In transcendental sense happiness, the senses are engaged in the service of Rishikesha or the supreme owner of the senses, Krishna. Serving Krishna with purified senses is called Krishna consciousness. That is the way of bringing the senses under full control. What is more, that is the highest perfection of yoga practice. I think now this is her realization here. She says that this is the verse that we discussed in the past lectures this month. I really liked this verse and immediately tried to memorize it because I thought that recalling this verse would help me in situations where I don't find myself in control of my mind. I have realized lately that along with making us extremely unsteady and flickering, our mind makes it so much more difficult to understand our own flaws and shortcomings. I don't even realize the intricate tricks that my mind plays on me to make me think that I am doing so well in my material and spiritual life, that I am perfectly situated where I am. And as a result of this, I forget to push myself harder to remember that really I am not doing even a small fraction of what I could be doing. I don't understand the power that my mind holds over me. Okay, Amrish Prabhuji once said in his lecture that the mind can play tricks on us even in the name of devotional service. And what I've realized lately is that my mind has become an expert in doing that. As difficult as it is for me to admit this, but my mind makes me think that I am adopting all these changes in my lifestyle and all these good habits for Krishna, and that I wonder if I am just doing this to get adoration and admiration of the people around me. When we think of pride, we forget how subtle and silent it is. Unless one seriously introspects his intentions and activities, one may just miss it. It seems to me that everything I say and do is very subtly laced with pride. It's so subtle that I miss it every time, and my mind makes it even more difficult for me to stay focused. I'm not at all pure in my bhakti and in my intentions, and I have to remind myself of that so that I can keep trying to purify myself. It's so easy for me to get comfortable in my position and just stop trying to see my own lack of effort and endeavor. I cut myself slack at the slight or of even the tiniest of inconveniences. I think that I am not feeling well today, so I will not read as much today as I will chant my round, or I will chant my rounds late in the night because I'm very tired right now. But then I read in the Grantharaj somewhere that Maharaj said that it is not that if you are sick, you should cut yourself some slack and not do your devotional activities. In fact, you should do them even more when you are sick. If you cannot remember Krishna in your sickness, how will you remember him at the time of your death? It got stuck with me and I couldn't shake this line off from my head for the longest time. I still can't. because I am so quick to create a leg room for myself and say that it's okay if I don't do this today. Krishna will understand. But if I were a better devotee, I would study the books every day, make proper notes, and learn verses just like I do for my academics, despite of every obstacle and discomfort. Even amidst physical or emotional turmoil, I always studied for my exam and gave my 100%. So, how can I be so negligent in my devotional life? The notes I made for my exams turned irrelevant to me the moment I stepped outside the exam hall. Prabhupada's books and hearing these lectures will always stay relevant. Even after 60 years, I could still go through my diary and relate to everything that Hare Krishna weekend has taught me. And yet, I don't do any of that enough. But my mind has very conveniently tricked me into believing that I am a very nice devotee. Earlier, I was thinking about writing my realization on how I did my first ever Mangal Arati at 4:30 a.m. for Maharaj's disappearance day, and what a transcendental experience it was. If I were up to my, if it were up to my mind, it would have never happened. I woke up at 4 a.m. It took me 5 minutes to take a bath and 25 minutes in convenience myself. Then I had to take a bath at 4 a.m. in a winter morning, but it was such a beautiful experience. It almost feels like it happened on a different planet in a different time. It was the most blissful I have ever felt. But then I thought that this is something Maharaj did every day, even in the most advanced stage of his life. And I want a pat at the back for doing it once. Don't get me wrong, I think it's one of the best decisions I have ever made. But it's just one small step. And I cannot let my mind stroke my ego for doing it. A true testimony to Maharaj would be to do Mangalarti every day, early in the morning, and scrutinizingly studying Prabhupada's books every day without fail. I am far, far away from that right now. And that is not to say that I should get demotivated in the progress that I have made so far. But I need to remember that there is a long way to go. Please bless me and guide me so that I can realize my own shortcomings, become sincere, and never falter in my devotional life. Hare Krishna, Divanshi Gupta. Jai. Wonderful. Avinash Prabhu, what are you teaching these people, man? What is all these things? They are all becoming big, big sadhus. As Maharaj would say, our job will be finished now. We will be without job if they do such things. It's very nice. It's very
No,
nice.
no, Prabhu, it's not my credit. They are actually influenced by you, and whatever you say, they try to. Yes, Prabhu, that's actually true.
They know me because of you. This is full stop.
No,
Can you argue about this, right? Can you argue about this?
no argument, but
that's it.
But they know that how I
telling
am, and they know how you are, Prabhu.
That's okay.
They copy the sincerity from you.
No. This is my problem also. What she is writing, so I can't say on these things. But see, if we really want Vaikuntha in our own life, forget about having Vaikuntha in this material world. It is too big thing. But if we really want Golok Vrindavan in our life, then first thing is this: we must remove our hypocrisy and give the credit where it belongs. That's it. Then there is transcendental competition otherwise, and you'll be blissful. And we are not doing it for some namesake or anything. The fact of the matter is this. Full stop. So this is wonderful. Her realization is very, very nice. And she mirrors my realizations too. This is very nice. And she's traveling, and it's so amazing that she wrote this, and that she also asked for the number, where she may not have internet connection, so she can call from somewhere if she has to connect here. So I've given some details. I do not know whether she'll be able to do so, but she's in spirit with us. It's very, very nice. This is very inspiring, very wonderful. All you young devotees, you are so inspiring to everybody. And remember one thing, our work, our activities, which we are at the moment, may not allow us to do everything that we need to do. You're always going to have this situation. And she is correct in regretting it, that she's not doing it regularly. And she's also correct in saying that this should not become an impediment in us not doing it. So we should not become demoralized. It's all motivation. It is very, very wonderful. These two things she has realized, that is the best. You know, that is the best. Nobody insists upon it, but this is how it is. This is how it is. And Maharaj always said that depending upon your time, place, and circumstances, perform your arati. You cannot insist upon somebody. Maharaj said, I remember in so many words, where Maharaj says Mangalarati is very important. Maharaj has insisted this point also, I remember in Bhagavatam classes, that if a person is coming at 12 o'clock at night, is night, you force him to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, man, he will not become devotee. He'll run away. So be logical. Whenever you wake up, you perform your arati. So wherever possible, you must do over the weekends and all that, But our weekends are even more busy than normal days with the preaching and all that. So we find our ways. Maharaj says, think practically. As you think practically, you'll find ways. Ultimately, it is our service to Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. So this is very wonderful. Very nice realization. Hare Krishna. Please keep coming. Hare Krishna. And credit does not only go only to Avinash Krishna Babu alone. It goes to him and Saraswati Mataji also, his wife, good wife. So all your leaders who are now becoming counselors and tutors, you have your whole family supporting you. So credit goes to your whole family. So it's her and him, both of you together. Hare Krishna. All glories to your service.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for glorifying us. But believe me, we are just trying to be a medium. And as probably I've heard from you or from somewhere, that it is not a teacher, it is a student. Same instruction given to all the students, but some students take the instruction and some students take the instruction maybe after some time. So it is up to students also. And obviously, not only us, actually, they looked at all the devotees here who very nicely, sincerely follow. They have quoted me Sheetal Prabhu, they have quoted me Sanjeev Prabhu, they have quoted me Krishna Prabhu, they have quoted me Mataji's, Pun Bhagna Mataji, they have quoted a lot of things. And I'm at a loss to be able to remember those things, but I'm really surprised. They are so sincere. They all show up for chanting Prabhuji, so I have to be with them for chanting, all of them. So as you rightly said, these young devotees are actually, what do you say? You very nicely said, they're engaging us. I say them, you keep us engaged. Yeah. But they're very motivated and they're looking towards you particularly for guidance in the future and in their future life. This is what I tell them all the time.
Yes, it's very nice. Let them just follow Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. They'll be safe. That's what I try to do. With me, they'll be unsafe. I proclaim it. It is recorded. Nobody can dispute this. Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Yes. Please keep coming.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I have done nothing, but I'm getting the credit without doing anything. That's wonderful. As it is said that if husband chants, then wife gets 50% benefit. So I'm without doing anything, I'm getting the benefit.
We all know everything, mother. Don't worry. See, welcome to spiritual life.
No, Prabhuji, it's all Prabhuji's and your efforts. It's nothing from my side. But thank you for taking my name, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
I think I should share, Prabhu. Everybody's thinking. So thank you, Amrish Prabhu and all the devotees for encouraging us to be around. And believe me, when I have heard from Amrish Prabhu that after you have been in this movement for 15, 16 years, you actually tend to get distracted and you go away. So it's actually hard to stick around. Believe me, it's hard. And whenever there is some instructions coming from any of you, I always take it by nature, personal instruction, that either something is for me, you're talking to me, you have something found or something. So that's other realization. And the other realization, I've been talking to Amrish Prabhu last week, when you turn 60, I don't know, means you feel that your watch is probably running faster. You are moving to, and you will run out of energy and all those things. So that's put me under more focus, that how do I don't waste time and how to engage and myself to actually make best use of whatever time I have got. And as far as these young devotees are concerned, they are very inspiring and they're all unique. And I don't know how much they can take from Maharaj and all of you. It's up to them. But at this stage, they are very inspired and they are learning fast and they're putting pressure on us to move forward. And there are so many questions. So coming back to my realization, I was thinking about that after I've been giving a license for 10, 15 years, what realization you give again? And one thing is that I read and it's become monotonous. It becomes same thing. You sound, what's new in this? What actually you have learned? What have you realized? And we tend to know each other, our habits, what we are going to do, what we are going to say. And so realization actually is a hard part. And particularly when you have been there for a long time. I feel that way. I may be wrong, and I'm mostly wrong. So when I was reading Bhagavatam, I casually read whenever I get time. So I was reading this time Kunti Mother's prayer and trying to realize this calamity, which is what is happening around us. And it is bringing us together. It is ripping the world apart. There are a lot of things happening. So I was trying to go to those verses and share my realization that how Mother Kunti relations are so relevant even this time. That's how Bhagavatam is. So 1:8:25, that is Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse number 25. Vipadah santu taha saswa tatra tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam yat syad apnurbhava darshanam. So the translation is, I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we'll no longer see repeated births and deaths. That is Kunti Mata, and I'm not going to talk Mahabharata here. And we know that what happened to them and how much they suffered. And Kunti Mother is doing this prayer, and Prabhupada writing a realization onto this. So I'll read translation again so that I can explain my point. I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again, so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths, so that we get out of this. Now, in the purport, the point which I have highlighted is there's a lot of information in the purport. And what is related to my realization, the duty of the sane person, therefore, is to be undisturbed by worldly calamities, which are sure to happen in all circumstances. Suffering all sorts of unavoidable misfortunes, one should make progress in spiritualization, because that is the mission of human life. The spirit soul is transcendental to all material calamities. Therefore, the so-called calamities are called false. I don't know, we can call COVID situation, coronavirus situation as a calamity, because the entire world is suffering. Millions of people have died. and they're still dying. And people can't see end to it even at this time. So the spirit soul is transcendental to all material calamities. Therefore, the so-called calamities are called false. So I'm still trying to understand that how this calamity is actually false. It is actually happening in front of us, and we are all suffering. And if not suffering, we are actually affected by this in whatever way. Now, the next verse, probably these two verses I wanted to share, which Mother Kunti is praying. The other verse is probably that gives an answer to this situation, and maybe answer, or maybe it complicates the same situation, that how we cannot progress into this, how these things actually affect us. Janmaishwarya Shuta Shribhi Edhamana Madah Puman Naiva Hati Abhidhatum Vai Tvam Akinchan Gocharam. So I heard this class, Tvam Akinchan Gocharam, Akinchan Gocharam. So translation is, my Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of, in the bracket, material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. You with sincere feeling. I'll repeat again, my Lord, your Lordship can easily be approached, but only by those who are materially exhausted. One who is on the path of material progress, trying to improve himself with respectable parentage, great opulence, high education, and bodily beauty, cannot approach you with sincere feeling. So basically, it is impossible. One is calamity and is material. Even if you are not materially progressing, we are materially entangled. Whether we like it or not, we are entangled. So, but Kunti Mother is saying, your Lordship can easily be approached only by those who are materially exhausted. So we cannot plan being materially exhausted. And that is an art, that how we become materially exhausted. So I'm still trying to implement those things. I'm still suffering from those diseases. And the point which I've highlighted, what in the purport, which Prabhupada says, there's a elaborate purport. Prabhupada is giving his realizations. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up. This is so natural. It happens. We don't realize, but it's there. But the result is that by possessing all these material assets, one becomes artificially puffed up, intoxicated by such temporary possessions. Consequently, such materially puffed up persons are incapable of uttering the holy name of the Lord by addressing him feelingly, O Govinda, O Krishna. So that what happens when we are actually trying to come out of this death and birth cycle, and we are trying to find a way that how we can purify our bhakti every moment, not on a weekly basis. When we go to Amrish Babu's class, we have to give a realization, or when somebody is calling us or something like this. And in this, I picked up this idea from inspiring by all of you. It's able to get engaged into more and more preaching activity, more and more spreading this Krishna consciousness, more and more uniqueness of this Hare Krishna weekend mood, Mahavishnu Goswami mood. And believe me, last week I had 3 classes and then chanting, and it was in my house. It was looking like that, are we living in a temple or what's happening? We were not doing anything else. It was only 2-3 days that, and I don't know how material, and I was getting material phone calls and all those things, because I have businesses going, I have got things happening, and they are considerable size. So, but all those 3-4 days, the feelings which I realized, I said that's the only way of getting materially exhausted. When you are not able to think about yourself, when you are only thinking about what do I do next, what do I actually do in a way so that devotees can understand what we are trying to say. And giving a class 1 o'clock in the night, believe me, it's not easy. And I have done it 3 times. It's not actually to show that what I do, but the feeling which I get, the rasa which I get from it, that then when you forget about your body and forget about everything and you say, and I remember when the class was going at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the night, I never never felt tired or exhausted. So that is the experience, that is the feeling I actually want to have as much as possible. And I need all of your blessings, because you all are Vaishnavas. You all are at different level of your spiritual realizations, and you all can bless people like me, materially conditioned, materially engaged, entangled. I'm really struggling to actually come out of this. So when I was thinking of sharing my realization, I said, what should I say? I keep saying the same thing again and again. I said, okay, let me share what actually I really felt. And that's my relation. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, very nice. Thank you very much, Avinash, for your nice efforts in your preaching. I'm sure Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada is very pleased with you. And we are a preaching outfit which you have understood very well. And I'm sure others also understand this. Everybody joins in, should be preaching. I mean, somebody cannot preach, that's fine. Then support others who are preaching. It is that much you must do. Yeah, that is what our mood is. If you think that you're going to sit quietly in one corner, other people are running around, and I can't do this, I'll just do this much, then I'm sorry, you're not in the right place. You can go somewhere else. You can preach. If you can't preach, then support others who are preaching. That's the idea. Because if you are going to preach, then you're going to study properly, because you have to convince others. This is how you have to convince others. And convincing others is a very difficult thing. So that's very nice. All the best to you. All the best to you. Okay? Please keep going.
Sorry, Prabhu, on convincing, I personally feel that we cannot convince anyone. That's my relation. But you become the change. That's what you always say. You become a change, and then people actually automatically understand and try to follow you. That's what I thought.
Yeah, we should just repeat the words that we have learned and put our realization, but don't change anything. That is how the parampara speaks. That's correct. But to understand that, we should take the efforts, roll up our sleeves and then go out in the battlefield. We must go everywhere, not only in India. We must go to Syria also, in Iraq. Why not? We must go everywhere. Everywhere. Online you can go. What's stopping us? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Okay, yes, Prabhuji. So my realization, it is on a message that Ambrish Prabhu had sent on the wecan group. It was actually an incident. The message, it was an incident from Kapil Devdas. So I'll just tell the entire incident in short, because the message is very big, so it will take a lot of time. I'll tell the summary of basically what happened. So the message started with, how much knowledge do we actually need in order to serve the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? What if we are complete fools? Can we still act as divine instruments? So the incident, it went like, so it was basically that Kapil Devdas, he is a manager. He is managing a theater company in South Africa, and they are called the Bhaktivedanta Players. And they perform standard ISKCON plays like The Touchstone, A Class Prisoner. So they perform these kind of plays. They would perform these kind of plays. People would ask them to perform and all of that. So one time they were requested by a Hindu student union to perform this play in some tent behind a sports stadium. So the tent was beers in a tent which had some. This event was about to be of around 200 people, and they had to go to the tent which was behind the sports stadium, and they had to perform over there. So that was okay. So everyone went over there to perform the play and everything. But what happened was that an actor, he got confused. He thought that they are actually going to go to the sports stadium instead of the tent behind the sports stadium. And so he went the day of the play, he went to the sports stadium and he saw so many people over there. He saw about 60,000 fans over there to watch a match. It was apparently a very important match. So he became very impressed that, oh my God, Prabhuji has managed to get so many people, so we must be very popular over here. And there was a big line, but then he just crossed the line. He went ahead and he just said, everyone, I'm with Kapil, I'm with Kapil, let me go, I'm with Kapil Dev. And no one knew who Kapil Dev was, but he was saying it so confidently that everyone let him pass through. And then he went, but he could not find Kapil Dev. So he just went in the middle of the stadium and he started shouting Hare Krishna. And the people around him also, everyone in the stadium, they started shouting Hare Krishna. And it was, I was reading this verse and I started laughing. Okay, so this actually happened. And then he could not see Kapil Dev still. So he said again Hare Krishna. And everyone in the stadium shouted Hare Krishna. And then he realized, okay, I think I have come in the wrong place because I cannot see Kapil Dev over here. At the same time, in the tent where the play was happening, everyone was Kapil Das, sorry, not Kapil Dev, Kapil Das. So yeah, so everyone was there in the tent. They heard chanting, the kirtan. They heard the kirtan, and they thought, oh my God, so this Hare Krishna must be very popular over here if so many people are just chanting Hare Krishna. And the Hindi students were like, "Are see, we are so popular. Hare Krishna movement is so popular over here in Africa." So this happened, and then when he came back, he came back. And Kapil Devdas, he was like, he thought that, okay, how did this happen? Can we do this regularly? Can this happen regularly? And then he thought, this cannot happen regularly. This was just a one-time thing. And then after that, when he came back, after about 1 year from now, what happened was that there was some event was going to happen. The national police over there, they were going to conduct some kind of event, and for that they had called Kapil Devdas for a meeting kind of thing. So he went to the meeting with his wife, and when they reached the meeting, then they were talking in some other language, I think, and Kapil Devdas was not able to understand because as soon as they came, they were laughing and they were talking about something. And he asked his wife that what are they talking about, and his wife said that nothing. They're actually making fun of us. They are making a joke of us. So Kapil Devdas was like, "ठीक है, whatever." And then after that, they asked the person, the head over there. He asked everyone that how much would it cost for different things, like how much would it cost for advertisement, how much would it cost for different things. And then he asked Kapil Devdas how much would it cost for food for about 100,000 people. And he said, thank you very much, but it would cost zero. And everyone was very shocked because everyone is asking for 120,000 currency, I don't know, the 120,000 rand, 180,000 rand. And he's asking how much would it cost to feed 100,000 people. And he said it will cost nothing because the community is donating to our this fund for feeding people, and they trust us to make the proper decision where to use it. And so everyone was very impressed that, oh my God, they're doing this. And then everyone stood up and they gave a standing ovation to him. So after that, they went when the event happened. It was again in that very stadium, and those same teams were playing as they had played in that mistake kirtan that happened about a year ago. And when they went for food distribution, they went, and then as soon as they went, everyone started chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And everyone thought, oh my, these people are so popular. They have come over here and they are already so popular. Everyone loves them. And then after that, always for all kinds of occasions, they were approached for food distribution and these kind of things. So over here, it is written, I often wondered how these wonderful things happened. We had no qualifications. We were not learned or even particularly devotional. My conclusion was Amanina Manadena, not expecting any praise, but giving all praise to others. Kirtanya Sada Hari, one can chant the holy name constantly. I pray that Krishna might somehow guide a fool such as myself to become humbler than a blade of grass and more tolerant than a tree. I read this I read over this message, and I really liked the message. It was very interesting. So I started thinking, actually what had happened was, like, before I read this message, I remember Avinash Prabhu and we were thinking of some kind of program about book distribution. We were talking. It was in conversation and all of that. And I'm in fact very, I'm not able to read books as much. I give excuses that I don't have time. And it was kind of a problem for me that I was not able to read books. And I would think that I was not able to read books. And when the book distribution thing happened, and Avinash Prabhu also told that if you're going to distribute books, then you have to read them. And you cannot just read them, you have to read them thoroughly. Because if you are distributing books, then people will ask you, why should I buy this book from you? What is in this book? And then usually if you give the book to someone, if they read the book, they're going to ask certain things in the book. Acha, this is written, why is this written? Explain it. And if you are not able to explain, then that person is not going to be interested in reading the book any further. Okay, this person who's selling me the book, he also doesn't know anything about it. And just these things used to happen. And I would think, I had my friends, they had some certain problems. If they would come to me with problems, I wanted to kind of put Krishna conscious philosophy into their problems, but I was unable to. And I felt that, why am I unable to do this? And I'm not able to bring them into this thing. And because I just felt that I'm not intelligent enough, I have not read books, my philosophy is not that strong. And these things were, in fact, I was thinking these things. And I was just thinking, maybe I should tell my mother about something, because I would see that my mother is very she would be sometimes very sad in her life, and I felt like she needed this a lot. But then I was afraid how she will take it, if she will take it or she will not take it. And these kind of things were happening. I was thinking, maybe I should start trying to tell people something about Krishna consciousness, my friends or my mother. But I wasn't sure. And I think this was maybe 1 or 2 days before I read this message that Amrish Prabhu had sent on the group. And this made me realize about how Krishna reciprocates with you. Like, and the same thing that I was thinking, and then Avinash Prabhu sends the same message over here. And the same thing, even in the question, in the message, it is written that if we are fools, then can we help, like, can we still act as divine instruments? And then the actor who had mistakenly went into the stadium, he didn't know anything. He just went and he said Hare Krishna. People could have just very easily just not replied to him, or just say ki boo boo chale jao yahan se, kya ho raha hai, something like that. But it was Krishna's reciprocation. People were so enthusiastic. They were like, whatever someone says and shouts with so much confidence, we will also say the same thing, Hare Krishna. So, and this way I was thinking the same thing, and I got this message. And this way it just makes me think that, okay, and how many other ways in my life is Krishna reciprocating with me, and I'm not even understanding. Because usually whenever these kind of coincidental things happen, then I usually used to think ki, okay, is it Krishna's mercy or whatever, I don't know, whatever this is, I'll see kya hai pata nahi. So one time again it happened, and this was I think a defining moment for me ki, okay, I was wrong. Every time it is Krishna's mercy, and this is not how it happens. This is not just a coincidental or something like that. So I had my exams starting from the next upcoming week. I have my exams, final exams. And last week I was not able to study. Usually before my exams I get into this very flow state, and I'm very into studying, and that is the most that I learn. I'm able to learn more things in lesser time because of exams. But last week I was kind of distracted for whatever reasons, and I really wanted to study, but I was not able to study. And I don't think I had really ever surrendered to Krishna until that point. But at that point I thought that now nothing can be done, because I've been trying for so long. I'm trying for a week that I want to study. I know that these are my final exam final marks, and these are the marks that are going to count. I had studied more in my term exams compared to my finals, and I was like, what is happening, why am I not able to focus? And then finally I just sat in front of my deities. I did Dandavat Pranam, and I was like, please Krishna, help me. I don't think there is anything else that I can do. I just don't know what to do. I think only your mercy can help me. Please help me focus in my studies. Please help me deviate my mind from the distraction. And after that I got up, and I was almost crying. Why am I not able to study? Because I don't want to get bad marks. I don't want to fail in my exams. And after that, when I got up, I sat on a chair, and I was thinking. And after that I just I took my phone and I started watching some movie or some episode or something like that. I think I watched for some 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and then I went to study. And I don't know what happened. I started studying and I was studying very efficiently. And then I thought, okay, why am I studying efficiently? Is it because of Krishna's mercy, or is it because of that movie that I watched? Because I've not done any kind of letdown or something relaxing ever since जब से exam का stress start हुआ. So is it the mercy वाला part, or is it because I've seen the movie? And then I was like, अच्छा ठीक है, it doesn't matter. I'm studying now efficiently. Whatever be the reason, I am studying efficiently, so that's good. But I was studying and I was watching this video. Now I've seen there is an app for Marrow app. On Marrow, I've seen about, I think, 100 videos because of my academics. And never in those 100 videos did I experience this thing that I experienced this time. I was watching the video, and as the video ended, there was some, I think, 50 seconds or something. And the person, he ended by saying, it was some video on opioids. I was studying about opioids, and that person said something about withdrawal, some that kind of teaching was going on. And at the end, he said the child who is addicted, he will he will go to satsangs and he will sing Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And I was like, what did just happen? Like, and then I did rewind, and then I heard it again. And that person, he was saying Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. The person will go for satsang and he will do Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. He will not go to parties and have opioids, heroin and stuff. And I was like, it really felt like this is Krishna telling me, बहुत doubt हो रहा था ना, if this is the movie or this is my mercy. Now see, this has happened to you. This is not like this. And then I figured that this is too big of a coincidence. That was the first video in which Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, that person, the teacher who was teaching, he said it. And that was even after that, I've seen some 20 videos, I think. Nowhere the teachers have said something like that. No kind of reference has been made. But in that video, that reference was made. And slowly, recently, I have started reading Krishna book again. And I'm also reading Perfect Questions, Perfect Answers. So this kind of reciprocation that Krishna, and then you don't realize that Krishna is actually reciprocating with you, but he is reciprocating with you. And when you actually think about it, then you realize that, okay, I had not understood that, but this is what was going on all the time. And another thing I realized by this was, as I started to read the books and I started to little, not much. Maybe some days I only read 2 pages, but I thought that it should be just every day. And as you start to read, Avinash Prabhu used to say, and a lot of people, devotees, say that this is the perfect knowledge. And I never really realized that is it the perfect knowledge. But slowly, I am realizing that I'm studying, giving so much of my time to my academics. And so much of what I am learning, like everything has an exception, which leads me to memorize the normal characteristic things and the exceptions. And so many places I read, they have written the cancer is caused. There is no particular reason for the cancer to be caused. You have alcoholic liver disease, but only about of the all people who drink alcohol, only 10 to 15% of the people get alcoholic liver disease. People who do not drink alcohol also get alcoholic liver disease. And for so many diseases, the cause is unknown. People do not know where the cause is coming from. And I'm learning that, and most of the doctors, they devote their entire lives to learning that. But when you actually read the scriptures, you realize that the knowledge is perfect. I read it somewhere, I don't remember exactly, but it had said there are 8.4 million species of life, right? And I read it somewhere that the knowledge is perfect knowledge. It is not 8.8,400,001. It is not 8,400,200. It is exactly 8.4 million species. And because there are 8.4 million species, that means that you actually have 8.4 million desires. And I read that line and I was so amazed by that line. I never thought about it. I thought we have endless desires, but we do not have endless desires. We only have 8.4 million desires, and that is why there are 8.4 million species. So this slowly, and every fact it is stated so factually. This is it, and this is what happens. Krishna is this, and this is what happens. There is no kind of the cause is unknown. We don't know why this happens. This happens for some reason, unknown reason. But it is perfect knowledge. So just these few things I wanted to say in my realization. Hare Krishna.
Very wonderful. Very nice. Very nice. Hare Krishna. Very nice, Soumya. This is very beautiful realization. Very wonderful. Very practical. And I'm, as Guru Maharaj would always say, I'm repeating Maharaj's words, I repeat all the time. but especially for this one, so I'm so transcendently proud and satisfied that I had a personal desire. When we are preaching, all of you who are new also, is that in your very first step, I want to instill upon all of you. If people come and say, Prabhuji, what should I do? I have a problem. I said, don't ask me, ask Krishna. Every one of us has a direct connection with Krishna. And that is what you're experiencing. And I'm sure the same thing has been experienced by everybody else also. So this is perfect. That means this is very right. Very right. Because a Guru Maharaj would say this, Prabhupada would say, is just a transparent medium. Shastra is that transparent medium. So when Maharaj is a transparent medium to us and Krishna, okay, and we are not even Guru of anybody, how can we become I'll answer the question and all those things? All bogus. So this is very nice. You have issues, talk to Krishna. Don't talk to me. Instead of calling in the middle of the night, calling Avinash Prabhu, Prabhuji, I got this problem, talk to Krishna. And then wake him up in the morning in Aram. Don't disturb his sleep. Very nice. Very beautiful. All the best to you. All the best to you, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Avinash Prabhu, Sanjeev Prabhu, Sopan Prabhu, and Samya Mataji, and Divanshi Mataji as well, who is not here. It is very nice realization, actually. It's very, as Amrish Prabhu said, it's very motivating. Now I feel that actually I wasted a lot of my time to come to this stage. So that's what I realized. But actually, I realized many things. Realizing many things first since we started actually this preaching program, and it's all actually credit goes from Prabhu, because he always, always encouraged me, and to the extent also pushed me to start the program. So I always used to think, it's very hard because I know actually the structure what we had at Hare Krishna weekend, when we used to do this program at Newlyn. And I used to think, actually doing online program, I used to think that nobody want to come and listen, because they are actually, nobody's interested in philosophy, Even people sometimes when they come for prasad, and we are not even giving prasad here. So how they're going to be interested, Because Srila Prabhupada used to say, they are actually the gulab jamans, they're like bullets, they attract people, which is so true. But now here is also evidence that actually, the Krishna's name is actually Mahaprasad, is attracting everyone. And that's actually the realization, because I still remember when Amrish Prabhu actually used to broadcast, the Namata TV on Wednesday evenings. And we used to hear actually the realization of the devotees, Srila Prabhupada's direct disciples. They used to speak. And on one instance, I remember actually Srila Prabhupada asked one of the devotees to start actually the magazine, to publish the magazine. And that devotee, I do not remember the name. I'm sorry, Prabhuji, but he had no experience in actually, all this, publishing and, getting the book, ready and any of that. And he said, how can I do this, Prabhupada? I don't have any experience, any knowledge. And Prabhupada said, you just do it, it will happen. You just, make an effort. And I when I heard that, I also wondered, how can a person can do any, a new thing that he don't know anything about, and he can be successful. But actually that happened, when that actually devotee did it, and it was all successful. But that was just what I heard. And now actually we are experiencing, Srila Prabhupada said that if you actually start listening to Krishna, Krishna Katha, or, you start chanting, the day will come that you are bound to speak about Krishna. And when I heard that, actually, at that time it was just words, and I was hopeful that we will talk about Krishna one day. But now, actually, with Amrish Prabhu's all the training, and Guru Maharaj's, all those mellows and Srila Prabhupada's instruction, everybody is speaking in this program, which is really nice. But actually, starting means actually committing yourself to the preaching. The Avinash Prabhu is how he's doing now. He's actually conducting classes in the middle of the night. It's very encouraging to see, and we can learn a lot from you, Prabhu. So what I actually realized while Amrish Pur said, like, when you preach, even Guru Maharajas, when you preach, it's for our own benefit. We should not think that actually we're doing favor to anyone else. This is first for our own benefit, our own purification. And that is what I'm realizing, because if I have to give a class, and the Saturday, normally I don't get much time throughout the week, but actually my whole Saturday goes in preparation. And actually what you want to preach, that's also thinking, what you want to achieve next with those devotees who are actually coming to the program. So I always actually I was thinking, how to get these people chanting, So I was thinking, what should I do? And we are going through the science of self-realization, but I was meditating on that point, and I realized that I should actually share the Ajamil story, because it was a great story, easy to understand, and it highlights the importance of the holy name. And I was meditating on that point, and I said, I need something, touch and feel, any practical example as well. And then I remember the email that Amrish Pur forwarded me, I think maybe months ago, I think it was back in 2014, the terminal restlessness, So actually I found out, searched through my emails, I got that one. And actually we had a class yesterday where I actually read through, I translated in Marathi. It was a tough task, but I did it. And actually devotee means they liked it. Actually some of the devotees got even emotional, when they're hearing to that. And some of the questions they asked after that actually were very technical and intelligent questions. I'm still meditating on some of them, and I'm going to speak to Amrish Prabhu. Actually, means I answered them to best of my capability, but I'm still actually want to actually get a proper guidance from Amrish Prabhu, and I've told them that next week I will actually come up with the answer. So actually, the realization is that as Srila Prabhupada says that actually, in devotional service, we should not actually limit ourselves to our actually skills or capabilities. We should go outside our box and actually, we try to do the things, and then you will get impetus. You will see how things fall in place, because I have experienced this many times as well. That actually there are many actually. When I remember vividly when Amrish Pur asked me to actually find a way to broadcast this TV, and I said yes on the phone, and then I said, oh, how am I going to do it? I don't know anything, And I tried many different softwares, and it didn't work initially. And finally, I come up across one. I think I don't remember the name now that we used.
Just TV.
What was this, Roger?
Justin TV.
Oh yeah, Justin TV. Yeah, Justin TV.
We use it for so long. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we used that, and actually I managed to actually able to make it work, and I was surprised at how when you actually try to engage yourself in a service with Krishna's and your Guru's mercy, things actually fall in place. Things become easy. And the same thing happened with when I was thinking how I'm going to translate everything in Marathi, while actually sending the mails. So I found a way, So every time I realized that actually there is a Vaishnava's mercy, Guru Maharaj's mercy is there, Srila Prabhupada's mercy there, and you always find a way. And actually you learn a lot, because when I actually had a class, I think I spent, since I always wanted to actually read Srila Prabhupada's all the small books, but I never got a time, But now actually I skimmed through the book written, that's a second chance. Through the 3 to 4 hours, actually I skimmed through all the book before I actually went on to the class, because I wanted to make sure that actually I have enough information to share. And I learned a lot actually. So I came across some of the point while I was reading through, and that actually strengthened my faith, in the holy name. That actually we studied this verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 3. Shraddha dhanaha purusha dharmasya parantapa prapya mam nivartante Mrityu samsara vartamani. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies, and therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. So actually, when we discuss this verse, I think one thing we realize is that actually the faith, the Shraddha comes first before you actually, the Bhakti comes. So one need to have the Shraddha. So I remember even actually I did ask that actually Krishna as well, and Amrish says that is something I need to we should actually meditate, and actually why there is, Shraddha comes first and how we get that Shraddha. So I was reading through this, and actually I came across, actually Srila Prabhupada, they mentioned the verse, from the Padma Puran. And the point I was meditating is actually how to make our chanting offenseless, because Amrish Prabhu did mention a few weeks ago that actually we should not, make excuses, we should make a real effort to make that chanting offenseless. And we have to actually, focus more and more on chanting. So actually what I realized that actually chanting, the holy name, actually, as we say that there is no difference between Krishna and the holy name. So as it is stated in invocation mantra as well, where Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanation from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as a complete wholes. And whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. And because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. Such a beautiful verse. And as Krishna is complete in himself, even though so many complete units actually coming out of him, he doesn't become anything lesser. So as we say that the holy name, the Nam and Krishna, there is no difference. And the chanting is also complete in itself. We should not actually need to look for a solution outside, how to make our chanting offenseless. Where actually I came across this verse where Padma Puran states, Nama Aparadha Yuktana Namani Eva Haranti Agham Avishranti Prayuktani Tani Evartha Karani Cha. Even if one chants the Hare Krishna mantra offensively, one can nullify these offenses by continuously chanting without deviation. One who becomes accustomed to this practice will always remain in a pure transcendental position and untouched by a sinful reaction. So actually what I realized that actually if you want to actually make your chanting offenseless, nowadays we actually chant without, actually make a lot of offenses while chanting. And actually what is given here is actually you can make your chanting offenseless by continuously chanting without deviation. So by actually, you can make your chanting offenseless by actually chanting more and more without deviation. So that is very revealing point. And when we actually talk about the actually faith part, Srila Prabhupada writes here that naturally Krishna bestows more mercy upon his devotee because the devotee has the capacity to accept that mercy through service. The process of receiving causeless mercy of the Lord is to render more and more service. We should be very enthusiastic to render service to the Lord. And that enthusiasm will come when we chant Hare Krishna with faith and determination. Someone may argue, I can see how chanting the holy name with the faith is purifying. But if a man has no faith, then how will the holy name will act? So Srila Prabhupada writes, here are some of the example. If an innocent child touches a fire, knowingly or unknowingly, it will burn him. Or if we give a medicine to a child, it acts even though he does not know the potency of a medicine and how it is acting. Poison also acts in this way. Similarly, Hare Krishna mantra acts even though we may not know how or why. Even ignorant lower creatures are benefited when we chant loudly. This is confirmed by Srila Haridas Thakur. When one chants the Hare Krishna loudly, every living entity, moving or non-moving, benefits. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antilila, chapter 3, verse 69. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Srila Prabhupada actually answered this question very beautifully. Actually, I have been chanting now almost 10 years, but I didn't realize this point. But actually, when you read Srila Prabhupada book, every time, even if you read the same thing, you have different realization. that, solution is given and everything is given. Sometimes we just don't actually realize that point. So it is up to us, actually how much we are purified or how much we are sincerely doing the efforts in understanding these things. Answers are given. And this actually, what I realized that actually there is so much power in the holy name, that actually even the faithless person, he chants, he gradually become purified, even he has no faith. So even actually it is said that, faith comes first before actually your devotional service develop. But this faith is also given by Krishna, So as Prabhupada very nicely said, he actually in the book Dharma, where he said that this devotional service is very dynamic process. You don't have to actually have to take anything or look for any solution from the outside. And at that point, I didn't understand that actually point, but I realize now, that we don't need anything from this material world to actually purify our devotional service. Everything is actually within the actually Krishna and Krishna's name, and actually the mercy of the Vaishnava. We can actually able to actually purify ourselves, even we don't have any material possessions. So that is the actually point I realized, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Also,
very nice.
Yeah.
Very wonderful. How
And
not.
Sorry. Another point, Prabhuji, actually means you mentioned many actually long time ago that actually when you started chanting, Krishna slowly conquers your world. And I was thinking about that. Means I experienced myself, but actually now Mayuresh started doing his arti. He started doing his arti in the home, and I was very happy actually. When he started that, because I still remember, first time when I went to India actually, and as you told us, you go and chant, preach. And when I used to tell him about this, Hare Krishna and all that, and he was very new, he don't, even I didn't understand that what I'm saying, he's understanding it. But he used to nod, and he sometimes used to ask questions, so I used to actually repeat the same what I heard in our Namata program, because even at that time, I don't used to study that much, whatever I hear, I remember and I repeat the same. So somehow he actually started chanting one round and all that, and when he actually graduated, he wanted to go overseas for his postgraduate studies. So initially I didn't actually try to influence him to come here. Actually, I let him loose and say, whatever is, Krishna has his, plan for him will happen. But in the end, actually, he, actually a lot of things happened and he couldn't able to go to the Europe and all that. Then I remember actually praying, to the Guru Maharaj. And I said, actually, if you want this, actually, Mayuresh want to be devotee, please, make the arrangement so he can come here. So he will get association of all the wonderful devotees in Namata program, and that will be his, chance to actually learn. And that actually happened, after I prayed, and all Guru Shila Gurudev, and actually our Namata program and Amrish Prabhu, that, because of all their training, now he has actually chanting 16 rounds, and now he has actually started puja in his house. And also Prabhuji, his mother is also started doing the offering now, actually after our discussion. So that is actually the real realization, Prabhuji, that actually Krishna, slowly, once he is in your actually, heart or, in your home, he start conquering everyone. So that's what I actually realized, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Hare Krishna. Look, this is how it is. We don't force anything, we just tell. And Krishna works his wonders. If you have desire, devotees' desires in the heart, Krishna reciprocates. So all of us have one-on-one connection, but you are correct. We go through the proper parampara. Bhale through Shiksha, no problem. But you went through Guru Maharaj through Shiksha and see how Krishna is reciprocating. Very nice. I remember if Sajja Prabhu would come and he would give his, he's sort of an introvert person, he's not a salesman or a marketing guy and all that, but very intelligent. But look, now he can articulate his realization so nicely, and very good. I've got high hopes from you for your preaching activities, Prabhuji. The biggest advantage you have got, which none of us have, including me, is that you are not in sales, you're not in marketing. You're speaking what your realization is. So the words you choose, honesty can be seen clear cut, So that's a big advantage to you. Make the most of it. And in today's world, people are wanting honesty. They don't want all this fanfare and all that. So wonderful. All the best to you. Oh, Mayuresh, you're his right hand man now. What is this?
Yes,
Very
all
nice.
credit goes to you, Prabhuji.
No. Don't give unnecessary credit. Credit goes to you. Credit goes to Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. I was doing the program. You all came, so you were engaged. And all of you cooked also nicely. And I ate nicely. I didn't weight. Look, I reduced my weight. My wife is complaining. What are you doing?
The philosophy actually changes, Prabhuji. The philosophy that you taught, actually, made us into the human. So
It's Prabhupada have done everything. It's Prabhupada's mercy. It's so nice. All the best to you. Please continue.
thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. More. Ani more. Give me more. Give us more.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Suchi. Can you show yourself?
I may not, but I'll
Okay.
definitely. I'm.
Please speak your realization. Wonderful.
My realization is not so well articulated. Everybody is so wonderfully articulating their realization, but
Don't feel like that. Don't feel like that.
but definitely I'll try it.
Yes.
Because as everybody, today's theme, I really felt it's very close to my heart, because the realization that I am about to share is regarding the theme that is going on, experiencing Krishna every day in the practical life. And when I was reading the book called Bhakti, there was a concept, Krishna consciousness at home. So these days it is tremendously like today's realization is, after all, the gratitude also, because these days I'm feeling or experiencing that these the thing that Avinash Krishna Prabhu is saying, that he conducted 3 lectures. It was actually the Sankirtan program at our place, in which Avinash Krishna Prabhuji has conducted 3 lectures. And we are so grateful to him that it was a night at New Zealand, but he conducted the entire session. And I don't know how it happened, but certainly I just called everybody. My mother took the initiative of calling everybody. People showed up. Some people didn't, but most of the people showed up. They be in the process. They started doing things, and one eventually my brother has turned into the weekend group also after doing that. And then we went to some Sankirtan trip also, and uh, everything has been not been planned previously, but it took place so amazingly and miraculously. Like it is said now that Krishna has the mystic, the Yogeshwar he is. So everything happens so precisely. And the quite a great realization that happens with me is, after all this, my mother is also started chanting, my father is also, and my sister is also started chanting. And everything, like the concept that I was reading, that Krishna consciousness at home, and as Vinash Krishna Prabhu was saying that because of these 3 lectures and continuous classes, the whole atmosphere of the home becomes like a temple. So it was actually feeling, the thing was that I was materially exhausted. I was doing my job, I was doing this, that, but eventually everything happened beautifully, and I was so engrossed in all the activity of Krishna consciousness, and everything happened so miraculously that it's a blessing, and it's like a gratitude and gratitude for each and every who showed up, each and every devotee who showed up, who be with me in this whole event and the programs. And everything happened, like I'm just, it's like 3 months for me to join weekend and all the activities. And these people are just like these devotees are like my family. They are become my family these days. And then we went to Chinwada and met Avinash Krishna Prabhuji's father also. So it was like just like a blessing. And his father has become like my own parent, own grandfather. It was so overwhelming, so amazing that everything happened perfectly. It's like Krishna is all perfect, so things happen all perfectly. And then I was reading a point where it is mentioned that we should try to do our best to do more than is simply convenient. So when we try to do more than which is simply convenient, Krishna helps. Krishna pushes us towards more perfection in our bhakti. And that is my realization today. One more thing that Prabhuji I want to highlight in my realization is that eventually I have the things that changes within me is I can handle now my things more emotionally balanced way, in more maturely than I used to handle it previously. I felt that the previously the things that weren't very organized, I weren't very organizedly handling those things emotionally, or making my decisions, or reacting upon something which is not appropriate or appropriate. But these days I am handling those emotions very maturely, much maturely, and trying to make things based on how our scriptures or how our Krishna consciousness is trying to preach us. So these days I am feeling that change within myself, that sense of more responsible decision making, more responsibly handling my emotions to the level that could be appropriate enough for everybody around me. Even though it's situation like it is said that mm, padam padam yad vibdam, right? So a problem may come and go, but you take your decision like little precisely the way you could previously. But now these days this things has inculcate within me, this things are inculcating within me, to be very precise. So I'm really appreciating the way things are taking place. And thank you so much for that. And thank you so much to Avinash Krishna Prabhu, who has given us so much time apart from his busy schedule and his all programs and teaching. And I'm very grateful to all of you and all the devotees who had come and showed up. And thank you so much. So this is my realization, Prabhuji. Sorry, I wasn't well articulated. But as Avinash Krishna Prabhu says, that after Krishna consciousness, things become breeze. So I'm sensing those little breeze coming my way. And as you says, drink happiness drop by drop. I'm trying to drink happiness drop by drop, and I feel that, and I hope that things will show up like this only. All glories to every devotee. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Who said you could not articulate? Articulate very nicely. It's very wonderful. Very, very wonderful. All the best to you. Keep on following Avinash Krishna Prabhu. He is spending so much time for all of you and his wife, Saraswati Mataji. Make the most of it, Who gives nowadays time, Nobody gives time. Time nahi hai. There's no time. Ask anybody on the street. There's no time. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Here somebody's waiting. He should be charging you, man, all of you. Huh? Per hour, $150 or something per hour, 15 minutes, not per hour, changing people's lives. Very nice. All the best to you. All the best to you. It's changing your life. You must do this. Wonderful.
I want to quickly add, Prabhu, say something. All those things which you can hear from devotees are the words I'm repeating. I keep telling them I have not done anything. It's not me. And what makes me happy that you say transcendently that they're exactly following your mood, Maharaja's mood. And you can see the way Soumya Mataji said, the way all of devotees, Suchi Mataji and all those things. That is my success, Prabhu. So that I don't contaminate with my own individuality. That's very dangerous. So thank you, Suchi, for all those glorification, but it all belongs to someone else, not me. Hare Krishna.
It's good that your messages you are giving message is not diluted, and that is absolutely correct. Now it is good for me also, because if it gets diluted, Maharaj will kick me. You don't know. I will be hammered. What have you been teaching, man? Message should be very clear. This is how it is. So my fate is in your hands, all of your hands, all your preachers. And then your preachers too, because those who are learning from you, may not be today, maybe after 5 years or 6 years, they'll have their own team. So how they are going to do, so that's where you'll be, your teaching will be there by a transparent medium. Now there might be a transparent medium, my wife's, my son's transparent medium. And there's Guru Maharaj transparent medium to Srila Prabhupada. Who's transparent medium to who's Guru Maharaj? This is parampara. This is parampara. Diksha is important, it's a formality. Shiksha is very important. Knowledge is very critical. Very nice. All the best. Please keep continuing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for your nice realizations. So, as you taught, Prabhuji, about giving Krishna a chance, give Krishna a chance, and you will see everything is coming together very nicely with Krishna's mercy. So, I experienced this when I moved to India. I was actually worried about how can I continue my devotion and keep walking this path. My father actually warned me before I came to New Zealand that not to get too much involved with the Hare Krishna and Namata program and everything, because he knew about like Sheetal Prabhu and he's following the Krishna consciousness and everything. So I was very worried about that. And so I actually prayed to Radharani and Krishna for help, and it got arranged so nicely. And surprisingly, my parents did not object to my devotional service. Actually, Sheetal Prabhu told me to try to convince them with different instructions and points, but they did not. But my parents, they did not object to my chantings or putting, Sri Radha Giridhari Bhagwan's picture in the house. So everything came nicely arranged to continue my devotional service. It was only possible because of Krishna's mercy. So whenever I get a chance, I try to give these instructions, what I heard in our program, to my parents, and trying to get them interested in Krishna consciousness. So especially my mother, because she's very sincere in following this Jainism and everything. So once I was explaining how Jainism is not complete and one should follow the Krishna consciousness, which is our life's aim and which is the absolute truth. It's the complete knowledge. So and I believe with in that discussion with my mother, I explained this nicely and came up with the nice points to convince my mother and my father, which I did not think something I could do because I wasn't sure I'm well equipped to convince someone to change their paths and follow the Krishna consciousness. But with the Shita also, so I was actually thinking that Sheetal Prabhu will take care of it and convince them. And then so I was like, but with the Krishna's mercy and all the devotees' mercy, I actually able to convince that point to my mother. And it's only Radha Krishna's mercy that that knowledge came to me at the right time. The Krishna reveals the knowledge within yourself. So as Prabhupada said, everything comes from Krishna, even intelligence. So Krishna helped me and gave that knowledge on the right time. And in today's program, also Sanjeev Prabhu had conveyed that message about how Krishna is the maintainer of all life and everything that exists. So yeah. So it is important for me to take this chance very seriously. So this chance for me to continue devotional service and progress nicely. So I read one Maharaj's Transcendental Mellows. I think in one of our groups. So I don't really know the exact words, but the Maharaji said it is not important how many criticism you are getting or how many critics you are facing towards your devotion. What matters is how disciplined you are and how sincere you are in your devotional service. So it really helped me to direct my energy rather than cutting myself some slack because of all the people living near you, like living near me. Because where I live is like, it's like a joint family. We are not actually a joint family, but all my extended family lives in the same building. So the whole building is it's a big family. So everyone knows what everyone is doing. So, you know, people always trying to criticize you, or people always try to taunt. But with Maharaj's instructions, I try to ignore and continue my activities. Try to continue my activities with more sincerity. Try to increase my discipline. Try to discipline my all my activities. And you know, the ignorance is bliss, Prabhuji. So I try to ignore. So therefore, it is very important to learn and implement the instruction from our gurus and from all the devotees and all you Prabhujis. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very nice, very nice. So you had, I'd wished and prayed, you know, that you become right-hand man of your Mamaji, you know. Srila Prabhu, when you go to India, it's a perfect arrangement Krishna has made. Don't worry, you know. So it is all perfect. And don't worry, one day your whole building will become Krishna conscious. Wait and watch. The day will come. You'll be the catalyst for that, you know. Just keep supporting Srila Prabhu and Navrata Mataji in their efforts. And even if, as you said, let them remain good Jains, no problem, you know. What is the difficulty? No difficulty. We are not here to convert anybody. We are here only to convert people to become God conscious. That's it. That's it. We are not interested in anything. And Vaishnavism, we are not even Hindus. We are not Hindus. We are Vaishnavas. There's no word like Hindu. You know, there's Sanatana Dharma, that's correct. But we are Vaishnavas, like the Shaivites and all. But broad-based, we understand it's Hinduism is an overall meaning. But we are, technically speaking, we are Vaishnavas. And that's it. Ultimately, all numbers, you know, so many Christians converted, so many Hindus converted, so many Muslims converted, they are going to die now only here. You know, we are also going to die and go, not with these numbers. So you're doing very nicely. I think you are understanding, excuse me, you're understanding Srila Prabhu and Narottam Mataji's message very nicely. And the perfect reason why you are brought here, and perfect reason why when the timing was done, training was done, you have sent back to India, is blessings of Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. So you are very fortunate. Bhadram te. Hi, Srila Prabhu, is it not right? Perfect timing for him to come,
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
go, and all this happening in a corona, in a preaching online. You know, any before and after it would not have happened.
Perfect timing, Prabhuji. Yes.
Perfect timing. Krishna is always perfect. Very nice. All the best to you. Please continue. And that's right. Maharaj says that Krishna is not going to look at the list of criticisms that you have received in your life. Krishna is just going to look at how much uninterrupted devotional service you are doing for him. And remember one thing, in this line of devotion, you will be criticized. I was criticized so badly from my family. We are so-called Hindus too. Very bad. You cannot imagine this. Okay. So Guru Maharaj says this, that we'll be criticized. Even our family will criticize, Maharaj said. And Maharaj said, even what family? Even you'll be criticized in this line of devotion, means among devotees also. So don't worry about it. Going to happen, as you correctly said, close your eyes, ignorance is bliss. You smile at them. If you don't know, if you know, then you will not smile. But if you don't know, good, you're smart, everybody. He is my friend only, no? He said, such a nice person, man. I'm giving him galis. He's still giving me a smile. Krishna consciousness must be very good, you know. What does he know? That you've got something else in your ear, you know. You're chanting Hare Krishna. You're not listening to them, you know. So if you remove this, you listen to all these things, and then you will not smile, you know. Plug it off, finish. Ignorance is bliss. I like this attitude of yours, you know. Ignorance is bliss, best. We don't want it, you know. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories.
And Spuruji, I know that actually he will be criticized actually, because same thing happened to us as well. You know, whenever we used to go back, the people always insist, you know, why you're following that, and why you don't follow Jainism. And then I used to say, you know, you told us, actually, I'm following Jainism, you know. Actually, I'm becoming better Jain by actually following this.
Yeah.
Because, and I said, you know, Miss, do you eat onion garlic? And said, yes, I don't. I said, you know, so I'm more better Jain than you. And they just, you know, they don't have any answer.
Absolutely right. He said, I know about Lord Rishabdev, you know, I glorify him, Rishabdev. Do you glorify Rishabdev? Yes, it's a Tirthankar. How much do you know? You just copy him. You know, I follow him. Perfect. That's right. They will all become, there's nothing like Jainism. It will all come, no problem. It's all temporary. Krishna consciousness is what is the truth for everyone, everything. All glories. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very nice. All the best. Please continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Firstly, I would like to thank everybody here for their wonderful realization, especially realizations of people my age, like Divyanshi Mataji's realization and Soumya Mataji's realization and Shruti Mataji's realization. So it was so nice and so wonderful. I become so humbled every time I hear them. My realization is based, like again, epiphany. I try to base it on that. So it's based on the recent weeks and how I've been trying to serve Avinash Krishna Prabhu in his preaching mission. So I had a epiphany on that, and so I'll just share my realization on it. So the title of it is don't try to be someone better, try to be an example of something better. So when we strive to lead a principle centered life, that is a life of virtues, by adopting spiritual practices, we start becoming more disciplined and self-controlled. That I've seen in me and a lot of people that follow this. And as we become more virtuous than others, we may start becoming proud. So this is based because in these preaching programs, when we approach people, they are not directly coming from, like, they come from anywhere in the material life. They're just stepping into, they're just coming to listen what the other person has to say. So maybe they are not as disciplined and as self-controlled as we might be becoming because of our spiritual practices. So when you meet these people and when you interact these people, there is a chance of pride entering. So I wrote it on that. So as we become more virtuous than others, we may start becoming proud. Soon we may focus more on feeding that pride than seeking inner growth. And as we increasingly delight in pride, we will proportionately alienate others. Then I asked myself, then how I meditated, then how can I avoid such pitfalls in pride? And I got the answer that by shifting my focus from myself to the process that has transformed me. Suppose we were sick of an epidemic, but had finally found a medicine that worked. We would be relieved, even delighted. And we would naturally want to discuss and demonstrate our improved health to others who were still sick. Not to parade how we are healthier than them, but to inspire them to take the medicine. Similarly, we are all spiritually sick. We are eternal beings who are presently attached to temporary things. How can we heal ourselves? By following the time-honored family of path known as dharma. Then here I would just like to, I read this somewhere as a definition of humility, or how we can be humble, because this was all in accordance to Avinash Prabhu's instruction and everything that was planned out. So I realized one supporting point, that to claim that we are God's servant is easy. The test is whether or not we can serve a servant of God. The bona fide spiritual master instructs us in accordance with the scripture and other saintly persons. He also lives in obedience to his own spiritual master, and his orders are founded in love of Krishna as well as love for his disciples. When serving our spiritual master, we should be ready to do any humble work without compensation or recognition, while seeking the mercy of Lord Krishna. So this is the process. And yeah, so, and supporting this, like if we follow dharma and if we follow our spiritual practice properly, and if we tell people about our spiritual practice, how it transformed us rather than our good qualities, like how we are great, then that might be very beneficial. And I had a supporting verse from Bhagavad Gita, that is this verse, yad yadacharati shrestha tat tad eva taro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. So this verse from Bhagavad Gita, and which urges Arjun to follow dharma, thereby setting the right example for others. And dharma, as we all know and Prabhupada teaches, culminates in bhakti, which is the path for spiritual love for the divine. And when we practice bhakti yoga with proper philosophical understanding of our purpose, we stay conscious that our purity does not prove our greatness. It proves the greatness of bhakti in purifying even someone as fallen as us. Additionally, when people see that someone's greatness is not just because of that person, but also because of the process that person is following, they feel inspired to follow that process. If we adopt this attitude of exemplifying something better, not being someone better, we can manifest greatness without losing humility. And instead of impressing others with our virtues, we will inspire them to manifest these virtues as well. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. And as you glorify the process, then you glorify your gurus, disciplic succession. Very, very nice, wonderful, excellent. We have a lot of expectations from you, Parth. Already you are doing a lot of service for your Tahu, your uncle, Avinash Krishna Prabhu, and he's already forward thinking so many things, So as you progress in your material life, just follow through his few important instructions so this process can continue. I'm sure online is such now that wherever we are, we can be connected. That's not a problem with it. But it's very, very critical that you have the biggest advantage, you and Mayuresh, that your family members whom you trust are Krishna conscious. So that's a big thing, because they did not have anyone to trust us. You see. In fact, for them, for Avinash Prabhu and Saraswati Mataji, everyone around us was not trusting us. You see, they were part of that group. So then they did not have anything to fall back upon. They had to have their own guts. And then, fortunately, Guru Maharaj said, give some instructions, which they're holding on to this. So you're very fortunate. They did not have this. And very nice. So once we have the tree like this, it will keep going, keep progressing very nicely, keep moving. We're all decentralized, So if somebody wants to come and pick me and kill me, program will still continue. Kill my wife, my son, program still continues. Hey, what is happening, man? Why can't we stop Hare Krishna? We can stop. This is gone, that is gone, no problem, still continuing. What is this? This is it. It is called transcendental virus. It's a cunning master plan if it works. If it doesn't work, no problem. We tried, What else? If it works, it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. Everybody's a leader. And nobody's a leader. Wonderful. All the best to you. All the best to you. Yes, please keep going.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all very much for your wonderful realizations. It was so inspiring to hear from everyone. I think this session in particular was very, very insightful. The realization that I have is actually in accordance with a lot of the themes, as Suji Mataji also said, that there's an underlying theme today. That my realization is also on a similar theme to everyone, and it's from the similar to Sanjeev Prabhu and Sopan Prabhu. It's on the the transcript of the lecture given by His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, and it's on the third point, in which it says Krishna is the source of maintenance. So I'll just read the particular quote that my realization is based on. It doesn't matter which circumstance you're in, bhakti can never be conditioned. If you tell that no, you only come to the temple, then only you'll be complete. Christians will say you come to the church, only then you'll be complete. Don't be fanatics like that. Bhakti can be performed anywhere, but sincerity must be there. So for the sake of the time constraint, I'm just going to keep it nice and short. The point that I was realizing is actually the fundamental idea behind Bhakti Yoga is that it's not institutionalized. And, you know, when all the devotees who nicely spoke their realizations, and the point of giving realizations is the fact that it's our own practical experience, it's our own personal experience, not that we go to the temple and then we, you know, whatever bhakti that we do is solely when we enter that temple or solely when we're doing that particular activity. It's what we're doing throughout our life. It's our daily routine, how we incorporate things into our daily routine. So that is a true realization, and that's actually a huge specialty of His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, and how to practically apply the knowledge and not condition or not restrain yourself or constrict yourself to only, you know, an institution. So obviously Srila Prabhupada has given us this wonderful society through which we, you know, learn, and through which we all our spiritual knowledge is from. And the point being that you know, we use that knowledge, but we you know, do not think of our bhakti as an institution based thing. How we go to university and we study, and only if you go to university you get the degree. You know, it's not that if you study outside of university you get the degree. That's not the same case here in Bhakti Yoga. So I thought that this was a very appropriate quote given today's underlying theme of everyone's own experiences about how they're applying whatever knowledge that they've learned into their own lives. That we should not restrict ourselves in any way. And the bhakti doesn't stop. If you don't go to the temple, that does not mean that your bhakti stops. You know, you can do your bhakti at home, as you know, Divyanshi Mataji did an arti. Mayuresh Prabhu is also doing. He's keeping the photo of the frame of Radha Girdhari at his home, and I'm sure a lot of other devotees are doing the same. That's the point. That, you know, your bhakti can never be stopped, and you know, regardless of whatever situation, whatever time, whatever place, whatever circumstance you're in, that your bhakti always continues. And that is something that His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj was really, really strong on, at least from what I've also heard from, you know, my parents as well, that they're very strongly on that point as well. So I thought that was a very, very important point. That you know, if you think that it's only on based on the church, based on the temple, based on the mosque, then it becomes radical. Then it becomes very, you know, very centric on the institution. So, and if you face problems, whatever problems you face within the institution with the people, then your entire, you know, your entire source of spirituality becomes compromised. Whereas if you, you know, you stay with, you know, the temple, you stay with whatever place you're getting knowledge from. At the same time, you personally are doing your own sadhana, you're doing your own routine. And it's not, you know, it's not one way or the other. That is where the true Bhakti Yoga is experienced. So that was my realization. Thank you all very much for your wonderful realizations again. And Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Krishna Prabhu, for your nice realizations. Hare Krishna. Yes, please keep coming. Please keep going. More.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for sharing your very nice realizations. It's been very inspiring to hear. And I've prepared a small realization also. which is also similar to Sanjeev Prabhu from Maharaj's lecture transcript from that you shared, Prabhuji, in the WhatsApp group. So I really like the same point about be a sincere worker and not a shirker. There are not many sincere workers that we meet in our daily life. Most people are looking for shortcuts, including me sometimes, I won't lie. What I realized or was reminded again from this point, that we should do our duties to the best of our ability without being attached to the result. I also want to share a nice verse which I found relevant to this point from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 12. Yuktaha karma phalam tvaktya shantim apnoti naishtikim akyutaha kamakarena phale sakto nibhadyate. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers a result of all activities to me. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. So I found that verse very nice and been meditating upon that, trying to figure out how I can also get unadulterated peace. Since I started working, I've been working for a few years now, and I've noticed something, that when young people or when people join the company, they're very enthusiastic and they have a lot of enthusiasm to make a change. They're very passionate and they want to do something make a difference. But then slowly, as the longer that people are there and working, they start to lose interest and become shirkers. They start finding shortcuts or start complaining about their work. Yesterday, I was chatting with my friend who I used to work with before, and she was sharing how unorganized and chaotic things are at work since I've left. I asked her what is the problem, and she mentioned that there is one department which constantly keeps passing their work off to others, and blocking everyone because of it. During big meetings, they will commit and say, yes, we can do everything. But when it actually comes to do the work, they start pointing to others, not to even mention what happens if something goes wrong. So I told her, don't feel bad, because the same thing is happening at my workplace as well. When meditating on this point, I realized this is because everyone is working for the end results, which don't always go their way. So they lose interest and start thinking, what's the point, and blaming others for when things go wrong. But Krishna says in this verse that to attain unadulterated peace, we have to offer results to Krishna, whatever they may be. So I realized by watching people at work that I don't want to end up like them. I don't want to be bitter or become a shirker. Slowly, I'm learning to work only for Krishna, not the results, and work sincerely, doing the best that I can do. Hare Krishna. And I want to thank you again, Prabhuji, for sharing these transcripts. They are very insightful and very relevant to my life and very instructive. So thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for nice realizations. Padanagovika Mataji, very nice. Now we still remember as a family you came to us when 13 years old, 12, and then 13. And then Avinash Prabhu had to, Saraswati Mataji had to go to India, because your grandmother passed away, remember that. And you used to hide at one particular place, sitting here. And now today, you're very nicely supporting your father and mother in the preaching endeavors. He keeps telling me how you support him, answering questions and making sure you are there. It is very nice. This is the best way you can support your parents, and keep this knowledge going. What has helped us, this is how Prabhupada's legacy and Guru Maharaj's legacy will continue, So all our good wishes are with you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Keep supporting.
Thank you for engaging me, even from far away. Thank you, Prabhuji.
The parents are doing it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna. I'm so pleased to see Pradhan Gopika Mataji gave a realization today. Hare Krishna. Very nice to see you. And I was just thinking as I was listening to the realizations that you should speak something on this. This is very relevant, and I'm glad you spoke. So it's very nice. I'm just going to share a very small realization on the same theme. I'm just going to read something, so maybe my video might just go off. So this is one of the pearls of Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. Expertise in material activity is the spiritualization of material activity. Whatever activity we do, that activity has to be performed so very nicely that the employer or customer, whoever it is, should be completely pleased with us. This pleasing effect is Krishna. Bliss is flowing from him. As soon as we are pleased with the dealings between us, that is Krishna. If we perform the activities very clearly, thinking that we are dealing with Krishna, seeing Krishna everywhere, then the activity becomes relishable. So when I read this, I found it very relevant to the realizations that everyone is sharing, and wanted to share a small realization. So initially when I started this process of Krishna consciousness, and you have your material work and then you have your devotional service. So when I was in the process of learning, I had to do all my material activities, and then I had to find time for doing my chanting and like that. And slowly after trying to, when we were in the process of doing the programs, at that time, everything just completely shifted. So my thinking was always that I'll do these things. I have to go to work. I have this thing to do. I have that thing to do. And then I have my devotional things to do. But when we started the programs, then everything was focused around that we have the program today, or that we have the program on Saturday and we have on Wednesday, and how am I going to do this? And, I have to go to work today. I have, we all have these things going on. And it was I think I was very fortunate. My Prabhuji, when he decided to do the programs, there was a lot of enthusiasm in us. And I remember that we were not actually, I do not remember thinking about the material part of it. Like, oh, how are you going to do this? How, can you do this? You're doing a job, you're doing your normal full-time job and everything. So how is it going to fit? I remember very specifically the conversation, and the conversation was more around that we have to do the programs. We are going to do this so often. This is the outline for it. And at that time, I felt that, okay, yes, we will do this. But I had no idea how it's going to happen. And I can tell you, it's like a little secret that the focus was, when your focus is on doing your devotional service, and when you're thinking about your devotional service, then automatically Krishna takes care of your material activities. And then eventually there is no separation between your spiritual and material activity. And I can say that, I'm listening to all the nice inspirational realizations from all the young devotees. I can share that there are such small things. There are big things, like big decisions, strategic decisions, where Krishna is, if you allow Krishna to take charge of your life, then it's just wonderful. You don't have to really worry about anything, So in a very little way, I'm sure all of us experience this, but I have experienced it in small things and in big things. And I'll just give you one or two examples. So when, for example, there's a day when we have the Namahata program. At that time, we used to have it at home. And it's a working day. So I had to finish my work and go as early as I can home, and then we can do the cooking and everything before all the devotees arrive. And there was a specific project that we were doing, and some things just got thrown at the last moment. And I was thinking, I don't know, Krishna, how is this going to happen? Like, because my focus was I want to finish all this work and I want to go home and then start my service. And I do remember that there were like hundreds of folders that I should have had to go through, because I had to find a particular file and then find out, what was the history and then act upon it. And there was no way that I could have done that. And I had to finish the job before I had to leave my work. And you won't believe it. Like, I just thought came to mind that how am I going to do this, Krishna? I really, I need to go, So I was just looking at the folders, and just by chance, I happened to look at a particular folder, and I opened it, and then I found the file in the first or the second folder that I needed to reference and get my work done. And I really, like, it's a small incident, but I felt that this is just amazing, that this can happen. Even like how devotees shared the intelligence, it comes from Krishna. There are so many times when you experience that, if you sincerely doing your work, then definitely gets appreciated. And I got told once that, how did you even think like that? And after our meeting, when I went back to my seat, I really thought, no, actually, I really don't know how I thought like that, because I don't think I was capable of thinking like that. It's all Krishna's, and Krishna's given his mercy, and the intelligence comes from there. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you really, even slightly, I'm not at all a sincere person. If even slightly, if you try to surrender sincerely to Krishna, and if you allow Krishna to take charge of your life, then everything is completely different, and everything just turns out, smooths out. And I always remember, it's like the problem is that you want to take charge of your own life. You want to take charge of everything. And you want the results to happen in a particular way and at a particular time, but that might not be appropriate. And then also the realization that you're thinking about, your focus in your devotional service. If you want to do something, because this has been shared by Srila Prabhupada's disciples as well. This is a very famous incident by his disciple Shyamsundar Prabhu, who was very close to George Harrison and wanted to ask him for a donation for printing some books. And Srila Prabhupada just said to him that you just go and, just pray to Krishna and it will happen. And he said, I don't even know how it's going to happen. And then when he asked George Harrison, Shyamsundar Prabhu asked George Harrison at his home, we went for dinner over there, that, Srila Prabhupada is asking for a donation. It was kind of a setback for a minute, and then the lights went off and there was like a thunderous sound and everything like that. And then after that, George Harrison said, well, how can I say no after this, And Shyamsundar Prabhuji shared this, that with Srila Prabhupada, because they were the initial pioneers of this Krishna conscious movement, that, with Srila Prabhupada, when we were there, we thought nothing is like impossible. Everything is possible. And that mood, is very important. So I feel personally in my life, I've experienced this. I'm not so sincere and I don't have 100% faith still in Krishna, and I'm trying to develop that. But if you have that faith that, your focus should be what is the service that you want to do. It can be anything. The sky is the limit. Do not think that, how am I going to do this? Because we don't do anything anyways. We are just instruments. So, just pray to Krishna that let me be the instrument, whether I'm there, whether I do the service or not. This moment is going to spread for next 10,000 years. I'm just a nobody. So I want to be a part of it, And amazing things can happen. And I'm just trying to inculcate that in myself, that I should come to that point where I shouldn't think that anything in devotional service is not possible, because I'm seeing in front of me all these beautiful devotees that have all these nice sparks that have come up, young sparks, and I feel like it's really amazing. It's everything is possible. So hopefully with all your blessings, one day we all can achieve that. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you very much for your personal realization, Purnabhagi Devidasi. Hare Krishna. Yes, please continue. Just give your realizations. Hare Krishna. There is some connection somewhere. Just 1 second, Suchi. Sorry.
It is Divyanshi Prabhu. She just landed. she's trying to connect. She's watching YouTube.
She's watching YouTube, is it?
YouTube, and she's trying to connect also. That's just, okay. This Divyanshi is trying to connect different names.
Okay. Oh, there she is. She's in the plane, you see? Hare Krishna.
What is the name? Is this Shianshi? What is Shianshi?
Hare Krishna, Divyanshi, we can see you.
She's on the airport, Prabhu.
Okay. She's in the airport. Okay, all right. Well, if she wants to say something, she can say. I don't know if the connection is good enough. The Wi-Fi may be a bit odd. Yeah, okay. All right, let's continue. Let's continue our realization. I think Suchi wants to say something.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Actually, what Mataji has said, I completely agree on the point, and want to elaborate my own personal example. Like we had these 3 house Sankirtan program, and in that particular program, I also faced the same issue, that I had a job and I have to rush, and suddenly 3 p.m. I have to rush, and there was a client, and then all of a sudden magically things happened in 1 minute or 2, and my boss or the head said that you may leave to your home because you have some event or something like that, and I immediately rushed, and things happen like that. So as Mataji said, that you put yourself into the point of surrendering, things happen, and I really agree. And I also feel that makes me more motivated towards keeping my toes here on this path. And yeah. And also I really want to highlight the point that what Parth Prabhu has said on his realization, that whenever a house program, like we had the house program, and people come up maybe from some other background, or the background which is not Krishna conscious, or maybe we had the background which has Krishna consciousness, because we had my relative is from the Vallabh Sampradaya only, but some thoughts or some opinions which wasn't so appropriate was also being appreciated by Avinash Krishna Prabhu also, and there was Parth Prabhu also. They also appreciated, and but they like what I really love about things, that they took the turn of constructive criticism. They took the turn of explaining things more softly and more like in a appropriate manner, rather than to just criticize about their point or thought, or to shrug them off. And that is what I feel, that true teaching or true wisdomful learning always emphasize upon. And what I really appreciate for that particular thing was that their effort to correctify people on the basis of their mental concoction, but in a very appropriate manner, which is suitable, which is perfect, not by of enforcing their own point of view, just criticizing their opinions. Yes, I completely agree that some points are mental concocted or speculative, but they have the correct approach. And one should have, if our teaching is absolute truth, then the absolute truth can be presented in a soft manner, and it will be appreciated now, or maybe days after, but it would be appreciated. But the path of criticism, or the path of correctifying others, or um, criticizing their particular thought or opinion is soft, is should be in a manner of humility. That has been our first and the foremost teaching of Krishna consciousness, and they like that is very appreciable. Like, I really love from the bottom of my heart that they have been very particular about that, and thank you for that also, because I've seen that people may criticize on the level of shrugging off people, um, because they don't follow their ideology. So, but they really appreciated everybody, and then clear out the perfect absolute truth ideology in a very correct manner, and that has been appreciated by the people around, and they are joining, like what Avinash Krishna Prabhu has correctly said, and I really appreciate that point, that if you try to express things and tell them in a more experiential manner, they will going to turn up. You don't have to enforce all bhakti, and you also said, Amrish Prabhuji, that you don't have to enforce bhakti upon anybody. They're going to turn up now or some other day. So I really appreciate the way constructive criticism happens. Thank you.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. I showed up, you said to show up.
Yes, it's very nice. I will show you full screen again.
Yeah.
Very nice. All the best. All the best.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, while we are watching Suchi speaking, and she was saying so many nice things. Is your mom around? You are on mute. She actually was asking the most intelligent question in that group. Sorry to say, Suchi, yeah, I have to say like this. She's not there. Okay, maybe some other time. She was asking about the absolute truth. She was all those philosophical questions. She was correcting everyone. That you need to understand. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice, nice, very nice. All the best. Yes, please. Please continue.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you everyone for so nice realizations, especially the younger ones. Your realizations are like so heartwarming. We just love it, hearing from you all guys. So my realization is a very short one, and this is from one of Maharaj's transcendental mellows. So it goes, always remember whatever Krishna has given you is the best for you. Satisfaction should be there. Unless you are satisfied, ease will not be there. Ease is offshoot of satisfaction. Those who are satisfied can face all reverses in life. Else we will go mad. Simply work and leave the rest to Krishna. You don't burn your hut seeing someone's palace. So, this is so true and so nice that Krishna, in my personally, I thank Krishna every day, every moment for whatever he has provided me with so beautiful association of devotees, everything nice, nice place. So there is nothing which I can complain, and why to complain when Krishna is almost giving everything to us. And with association, of devotees, it's whatever I can learn from them is so satisfying as well. So if there is any hankering for any material thing, either it's money, power, fame, or followers, it will always be an impediment to one's devotional service. That's why Srila Gurudev says that satisfied mind is very important for Krishna consciousness. Satisfaction and peacefulness slowly comes when we are associating with Krishna by chanting Mahamantra or reading Srila Prabhupada's books or associating with like-minded devotees. So I have felt always very peaceful and satisfied in whenever I associate with all the devotees or associating with Krishna's Mahamantra, or associating with Srila Prabhupada's books, which has everything in it. Srila Prabhupada has very nicely explained everything, and how can, as Maharaj says, how can we not read those books? How can we miss them? So I just pray to all of you that just bless me so that I can be engaged in devotional service and serve everyone. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mother. Hare Krishna, for nicely supporting the preaching, with Avinash Kishore, and all these youngsters are all your people's, efforts. Very, very nice. Thank you very much. All the best. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Divyanshi, we can see you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. See you at the airport.
Yes. Yeah. I'm at the airport. I'm connected to the airport Wi-Fi. That's why it's working. Otherwise, it was not working.
Yes. We can't leave you and you can't leave us. No, that's okay. Don't keep touching your face. Don't keep touching your face. Omicron is still
Yeah, it's,
all good.
yeah.
All good, Very nice. So we read your realization. It was very, very nice. It kicked off the whole discussion very nicely. Very wonderful realization you have said, You are free to
Thank
say,
you.
if you want to say something more, please feel free. We'll give the podium to you.
No, I can't really speak much right now because I'm surrounded by a lot of people. But yeah, I really wanted to attend the class. I don't know what else to add on. I think I wrote it in a very rushed manner because I wasn't sure. I hope it made sense. Yeah,
Wonderful.
that's
It was
all.
very, very nice. Wonderful.
Yeah. Yes. I just want to say, I'm so inspired, Divyanshi. When you wrote that you want to really attend it, it's one thing to write it, but you're actually showing the action that you really wanted to. It's very inspiring. It's really, I really appreciate it. It's very good, very nice, very, very inspiring. Thank you so much. Not only a realization, you're actually trying to connect. That's really taking it to another level. Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So you like to listen as long as you can, huh? Okay, no problem. Hare Krishna. Yes, please feel free. Others who want to speak, please. Your realizations.
While waiting, Prabhuji, can I add something?
Yes, please.
Just the realization shared by Purnapajna Mataji. Actually, I was actually just thinking about that. Actually, how you planned about starting a program, Mataji, and yourself, and it is actually, if you didn't do that, Prabhuji, none of us would be sitting here at the moment, and we're very grateful to you because all of us now we are engaged. And another point, actually, Pradhan Gopika Mataji and Purnapajna Mataji also talked about on the work situation. We're not actually shirkers, sincere. And this is something I actually realized that I used to put a lot of effort, actually. I realized later on that I used to put more than what is required, because whenever they used to give me the targets, normally I tick my box. And whenever I see other people, they always come up with the resourcing issues and these issues and that issues. And but actually it helps you whenever you actually put, you always grow. But I remember actually, this is instruction actually given by Purnaprajna Mataji to my wife, when she told actually, and she actually mentioned that to me a long time ago, that actually when you go to work, don't get too involved. You do your 8 hours, 9 hours, and you get out of there. And when I heard that, I said, okay, I think I thought about it. That's right. Actually, actually we unnecessarily I'm spending too much time at work, hanging around, and and even if you put a lot of effort, you don't really get much advantage. People will use you and they forget about it. Not everyone is like that, but normally that's what happens. Rather, I would spend more time in my devotional things. So you can actually become sincere worker, but actually we can set the boundaries. How much we want to spend time there. And that's something I learned, Prabhuji, from Mataji and those. So the instruction, they always help. Actually, it's a similar. Avinash Prabhu actually initially when I very new joined, he once said that to me: if you want to be leader, you have to be first very good subordinator. Avinash Prabhu, you may not remember, but actually that stuck in my mind. And I use that actually in my actually career. I think that is actually as a mantra. So, you become a really sincere, best subordinator, and that's how you grow, and that helped me. So all these actually, the devotional things, actually, the devotees here, they actually become very good asset to different companies where you work. Because actually you're not wasting their time, you're actually taking your goals and you're doing sincerely everything, So actually Krishna consciousness, as Prabhupada says, is all good, with Krishna, there is no loss to anyone. So actually, and it's so actually, and when you want to focus, Prabhuji, another point I realized even now, actually, since I changed my job, is when you want to actually focus in devotional service, just like Divyanshi Mataji is so keen, and I always felt the similar attraction about this program, that I always want to be there, So I always make sure, even I'm doing something, I try to actually make some arrangement, and it always worked. Krishna worked in a different way. Because once actually I was coming to the program long time ago, and we used to cook for Namata, and in the way actually something happened to my car and it started beeping, the alarm went on and everybody's looking at me, because when the alarm is going, everybody actually think that you have stolen the car or something. And then I stopped it. I can't go, and I called Ambrish Bhu and told him something happened and I can't come and all that. Ambrish Bhu, that's all right, he said. But again, I thought I have to go, I can't, we have to take this prasad as well. Then I was thinking, what should I do, where is this voice coming? And then I opened the bonnet, and I said, there must be some way. And then I realized, oh, there is actually, the thing, I don't know what they call it, that actually makes a very, actually, a deafening sound. Then I just pulled the wires apart, and they stopped. And then I said, okay, it's stopped now, we can go. And we went to the program, and then we reached, a little bit late, but we did reach there. So Krishna always gives you intelligence, whenever there's a problem happens, you always find a way. But yeah, that's actually, Prabhuji. And even if you're very busy at work, what I realized, Prabhuji, like we always went through the different restructuring, and initially when I started, there used to be 3 different people supporting me. And we actually, when there is a change of organization, it happened in such a way that some people left, some people resigned, and I stuck with only one person in a department. And I thought how it is going to work out, and nobody's really talking. And I don't know, actually, it's just, Krishna's magic, Prabhuji. These things are still happening, things are still running. And some people they do appreciate. I said, I know you are actually, you don't have any resources, but you keep the things ticking. But actually, it's very mystical how things, actually, you always actually deliver at your workplace as well. As soon as you actually work sincerely there, 8 hours, and then you're out of there. So Mataji is very right. Actually, the things are organized by Krishna in a certain way. When you want to actually, focus on a devotional service, Krishna always helps.
Jai, very nice. Our motto, give Krishna a chance. All of you are doing that. Wonderful. He works in mystical ways. Jai. Excellent, excellent. Okay, we are on. If someone wants to give your realizations, please feel free.
Hare Krishna. I just want to say that actually they are all instructions by my Prabhuji and Srila Gurudev. So credit goes to them. Hare Krishna.
No, credit goes to you and Guru Maharaj. Don't involve me unnecessarily. Hare Krishna. Okay, as you wait for devotees to say something, just wanted to let you know that our we'll be starting the intermediate program soon, and for intermediate program, the lists have been arrived. Come to me there. We will have our 3-way calls. In the past, we've done with your tutor, your leader, myself, and yourself, whose names have been given to move up. And I just want to speak to you people. It's called an interview. I want to be sure about a few things. Not an interview. It's just I want to make sure that how fast, how serious you are, how serious we are, what our resources, what expectations are. And once we agree on that, and then we will have a written test on the week after that. It's just a bit of a formality which I like to do. My Guru Maharaj were very surprised when I first showed Maharaj the question papers and all that. I said, don't do this. Is not they don't know all those things. What are you, your teaching is so good. All those things. And I said, no, Maharaj, they will not. They don't teach you all those things in ISKCON. I said, no, Maharaj. Maharaj program, we do it this way, but not at this level. But from the intermediate level onwards, things will change. So it won't be honeymoon. And as we know that the structuring is very clear from our side. We've got our main Hare Krishna weekend as a WhatsApp group where all people is broad-based, general. You can add anybody there in the group, WhatsApp group. From there, the selection starts for the beginners program. Those who are only serious, who wants to come to the program, etc. Then you can talk to your leaders. You can add them into the beginners program, because then we expect them to correspond and reciprocate, and then eventually come to this program which we are online. And from there, after some time, when we know after some years that okay, now enough information has been given, they know, and they're reciprocating nicely, then we move them to the intermediate level. That is where real business begins. Okay, so of course we have got the whole structure where hands-on, we are there with you, holding your hands, taking you through, and then it is the senior levels, the leaders program, and that is when the whole all resources are open up. You'll be with the leaders. You'll be trained up in a particular way to get your knowledge properly done, and then eventually preach. Very simple, straightforward. And no, we don't force anybody. You can take your time as level as you want to go to. There's no forcing of anybody, But eventually, this is what the structure is. This is what we do. And individually, also the leaders may have their own structures. They've got their beginners, intermediate, their levels. Perfectly all right. And what you will learn here is the same Bhakti Shastri course which has been done by ISKCON, but it has been done by Guru Maharaj. Maharaj instructed me how to do, what not to do. That's what we are doing here in a very simplistic form. Okay, so I just wanted to let everybody know in front of everybody what we discussed now. Okay, so you can expect us to have a discussion.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Divyanshi, Hare Krishna.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I just wanted to quickly add one thing hearing Shrital Prabhu's realization that, I've encountered so many situations where I really wanted to attend the classes, but something or the other happens. And I always find it that if I really, really want to attend the class, Krishna always finds a way for me to do it without even me trying. Something or the other always mystically happens, and it's just there. Like even right now, my flight was supposed to land about half an hour or 1 hour ago. And I was so upset that I had full plans that I'm going
I think, Divyanshi, we can't hear you. You had a full plan and then it just stopped there. I think the connection. I think we'll wait. When she comes back, we'll give her the chance to speak. Yes, the time will come. Okay, others don't want to speak. It's up to you. You want to give your realizations. I think the newer maybe want to say something. We want to push you. We can nudge you if you want to. Okay. All right. I think also Soumya had some questions. Now I'm wondering, here it is about 9 o'clock now in the night, So, and tomorrow's a working day for people. And um, here is Divyanshi. Yes, Divyanshi, we can hear you. You want to say something? Continue.
Uh, hello.
Yes, your flight was delayed. We heard till your
Yes,
flight was delayed. Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. So my flight was delayed and I was really upset that, I won't be able to attend the class now. And then my data was also not working. And so all of things like that. And I was getting really, anxious that how it's going to happen. And I had specifically bought international data roaming plan just because of this.
Wow.
And because I had no other use. And then it still wasn't working. And but then immediately when I sat in my flight, the girl who was traveling with me, she told me that, Heathrow Airport has free Wi-Fi. So don't worry, like whatever you're trying to do is going to happen. And immediately sitting and just getting out of the flight, the internet connected. And I was like, okay, at least I'll be able to attend half an hour because I knew the realization classes kind of go longer than usual. So I was still open. So yeah, it all worked out. I always keep telling this to Avinash as well that if something or the other always miraculously happens, then I'm able to just fit in something or the other. So yeah, that's it.
Very nice. Very nice. So you've reached London, is it?
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. Guru Maharaj were from London. Srila Gurudev. They spent many.
Yes. I know that. I remembered that. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. We are very happy for your commitment. It is very inspiring to all of us. And your realizations were also very inspiring. As I read your realizations, very inspiring to me too. They are mine as well. You are not, you echoed my views about myself, which is very nice. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Soumya, is it okay if next week, if we can have this question answer session?
Yes, Prabhuji, that will be all right.
So, if it's okay with you, then probably many devotees also have questions on the realizations. I think Navrata Mati wants to give her realization. We'll give her a chance in a minute. I just want to complete this point then. So, next Sunday, the first part will be a class which will be given normally, but my part will keep it for question answers. Okay, so my only request to you is that, and for other devotees also, that the questions which you have got, if you can give it to your tutors, latest by say Wednesday or something, or even in an intermediate program, if you can give your questions there, and yeah, you can add an intermediate class there, no problem. We can do that way, so it's easier. And second thing is this, that for beginners program who are there, like Suchi, Kanchan, or whoever devotees are there, if you want to ask a question, just put it up in the beginners program there, so everybody will be there. And please, my request to you is keep your tutors informed, If your tutors can answer the question, that's well and good on this. Otherwise, just put the question there and keep it by latest by Thursday, so that we know how many questions are there and we can appropriate the time accordingly. Yeah, that's what it is. Is this sound all right to all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm 50-50, you know. I want to give it to your tutors and they can give it to us. It becomes a bit bureaucratic that way. So if we and I hate bureaucracy, but only thing is this: please make sure. I like this point that your leaders, your tutors should be informed, should be in the loop with it. So if you in your own discussion, if you speak to them, that's fine. And if you want to write down in this, and at the same time, I also like if you have a direct question to me, to write directly to me. It should not be like this and all that. It is, it's a bit tricky for me. So best is that you please write down in your group, leaders group which you've got. So if you are in the beginners program, write in the beginners program group questions, and for intermediate, write in intermediate program group. Or yeah, why we can also, yeah, okay. Or we can all do in beginners program group only. Everybody can write, so I can take the questions. That's better, isn't it?
Hare Krishna, sorry Prabhu to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I think keep it simple, Prabhu. Let them write in their group so that we also know and everybody know what question coming.
Yeah.
Keep it that way. जो आपने पहले बोला ना, that was perfect. Prabhu.
Yeah.
Just keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, just write in your group. Those who are intermediate level, just write in intermediate level group. Those who are beginners level group. And that way by Thursday, so I know what the questions are and we can do it accordingly. Let us keep it this way. I believe that if this is going to happen regularly, we can have after the program, after the realization program, the next program, my 1 hour, we can keep it for question answers. So it's simple. So everybody can ask questions on this. Is it all right? Okay. Wonderful. So repeating again, those who are intermediate level, write an intermediate level program your questions. Those are beginners, run beginners question group. So why this difference? I'll tell you why. Because then the questions may be different. So I do not want the beginners level people to be overwhelmed by this question. So this is a very high funda question. I don't ask my questions. Every question is a good question. So keep it separately. And those on the beginners level who are not yet corresponding and are very shy, they will also realize that this is a interactive media and they can be also encouraged to come to the program. Okay, is this okay? Right, great stuff. Anyone has any questions on this? Namrata Madhuri, you want to share realization? I'm very sorry, please.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please.
Can I share now?
Please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and thank you very much for your nice realizations, especially the young ones. Very inspiring. And I really enjoyed listening to all of you. So as my Prabhuji just mentioned, that if you really want, that we don't want to miss the class at all. And he shared the incident when we had a car broke down. And I remember that same thing, because I remember the problem as well, but my Prabhuji didn't remember. The problem was that our car, both the indicators were indicating same time. Even if you want to go right side, was doing the both. So we were like very in trouble. How can we drive in that situation? And I also remember that I prayed to Guru Maharaj, please let us reach there, because I'm carrying the bhoga, like I'm carrying the prasadam for the devotees, and I want to go there. And then somehow, like my Prabhuji managed it, and we reached it. And even when we coming back, there was a problem. We know that the car, we don't know how it will work or not, but all the devotees were there. We will drop you, don't worry, we will drop you to your home. So it's like that. So like I remember that, like when you really want to do service, or you really want to have an association, Guru Maharaj really gave a mercy that we will have that one. There's another incident I remember. Because of that incident, the personal realization is when we decided first time, I remember in 2013, we decided first time to go to the Rajkot for Guru Maharaj Vyas Puja. And then we were thinking how we will go, and then there was no time for us to book a flight. And then we somehow managed to get the train ticket, and it will be for us like more than 24-hour journey from our place to Pune, and then catch the train and go to the Rajkot. It's maybe 20 hours something. I'm not sure exactly how much hours, but there was like overnight journey. We remember that we done. And that time also we booked the ticket, but there was no confirmation. So we were thinking how we were gonna do it. If there is no confirmation, how we gonna do it? And then then me and my professor said, at least let's start the journey. We will go up to the Pune. If that confirm, we will go. Otherwise, we will go come back. And then by the time Pune we will reach, I was just praying to Guru Maharaj, at least when we go up to come to the Rajkot, please our ticket will confirm. We should come, Prabhuji. Guru Maharaj, I want to see the Rajkot. I want to feel your presence, and I want to serve you there. This is our first time, and we never meet Guru Maharaj personally before, but we heard so many things from so many times from Mataji and Prabhuji, and we were so inspired, and we were feeling really shelter of Guru Maharaj. And that time I was like, I don't want to miss this opportunity, and I prayed a lot to Guru Maharaj. And by the time we reached Pune, I was like, Guru Maharaj, please, even if we don't have a return ticket, it's fine. We can do something else. Whatever, we can catch the bus, we can do anything. But please let us come there on time, and we want to attend the Mangalarti. I was praying so much. And then by the time we reached Pune, we got the confirmation. And then we come there, overnight journey and all, and I got the chance to serve there. As soon as we reached there, we had shower and all, and we come to the temple. We are waiting for Amrish Prabhu and Mataji, and then I got a opportunity to make the garlands, and I was like so much happy that, and I prayed to Guru Maharaj, thank you very much. It's your so much mercy that I'm getting this opportunity to serve you, and that I never thought that I will get this opportunity to serve you, but I was praying for that. At least I reach there and see the Guru Maharaj, how the Vyas Puja is going, because we were very new that time. We were just 2 years in the Namahata and all, and we wanted to see how they do the Vyas Puja, how's the homages goes and all. I wanted to see everything, what we do actually. And that everything happens, and we enjoyed the Vyas Puja, and we coming back, there was no confirmation. And I was like, it's okay, we don't have confirmation, it's okay, but at least Guru Maharaj fulfill my desire, and that he allowed me to go there. And then we didn't felt anything. We got the ticket or anything, that's fine. We reach back, but I always remember that moment, that if you have desire, and you pray to Guru Maharaj definitely give you mercy, and then you'll be happy at the end. So that's my realization for today. Hare Krishna.
Yes, wonderful. Hare Krishna. So nice. I remember this. We remember this very much. How you guys came, Too much. You people are completely mad.
Prabhuji, actually, there's
I
Sanjay
remember,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I remember this incident, and I remember Amrish Prabhuji, you're saying that I don't know, these people are really mad only then they are traveling so long, and they're traveling without confirmation. They are just coming. There's no other explanation but that they are mad. I remember this, and it's amazing. I mean, it was just amazing to have you all there. Hare Krishna.
That madness was really worth, Mataji. That that I will never. That experience was really nice, Mataji. It was.
All are mad.
Yes. Even I remember Sanjay Prabhu come from so long way by car,
yes, and with the mother and the auntie and everyone. Yes, I remember. Amazing.
Mataji was very young. I remember he took her as well.
Yes, yeah, it was really good experience, Prabhuji. Actually, means I never been to even Vrindavan or Mayapur, but actually the only place I've been is actually Rajkot, And yeah, it was like it felt like Vrindavan, because it was very first experience for me to actually see Guru Maharaj's Samadhi, and all the devotees we heard, Namate all the time, they actually, got the opportunity to hear them and actually, reciprocate with them as well. It was really nice, Prabhuji. So thanks for that opportunity.
Yes, thank you, Hare Krishna. It's a bit different now. You were lucky then, So that's depending upon our situation, we go, we don't go all the time, So that's all right. We are celebrating here with devotees. It's wonderful also. All the best. All the best. Okay, so we'll wait for 10 more seconds for others. If you want to share your realizations, please. Okay then. All right then. So we will conclude our program today with this. And so next week, as I said, by Thursday, please write us your questions if you have, and we can discuss that on Sunday accordingly. Hare Krishna. Now, whose turn is it today to sing? It's not Navina's turn. Hi, Navina.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji. We have to wish Krishna Saparman Prabhu for his birthday as well.
Oh yes, it is sing Krishna Sabha Krishna for his birthday. That's right.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So plus we should show ourselves for it,
There's no need. It was a week ago. It's fine. Yeah.
You're a week already older, huh?
No, Prabhuji, we should wish.
Okay. All right. All right. So as you wish, we should wish. We will wish then.
Yes.
Yes, but try and come on. Show your faces, That's better.
Madhav is there, yeah.
Madhav, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ठीक है आप? Nice to see you. Okay, let's start. We are already 9:10 now. Nearly 9:10. 1, 2, 3, start.
Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you.
Unmute yourselves.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to you.
May you never be born again. May you never be born again. May you go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Krishna.
Happy birthday
to you.
Prabhu ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeshanitai Gaurchandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you all very much. Thank you all the devotees.
Thank you.
Very nice. Hare Krishna.
Divanshi no message, beta.
Yeah. Thank you. Divanshi Mataji.
Divanshi Mataji is given a message there. Yes.
Now everyone knows we're Gujarati.
How come? Oh, no, yeah, because she spoke in Gujarati, that's why. That's all right. Okay, all right. So, Subhadra, it's your turn to sing. Yes, come. Let's start.
Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing. If
a room is clean,
if our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is clean,
If our mind is clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
But if we are dirty,
But if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we're not happy.
Wasting time.
Wasting time.
It is the greatest crime.
It is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means a wasted mind.
This is your time.
So best use your time
When you're in your
when you are in your prime.
prime. And your whole life
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime.
If your wealth is gone,
If your wealth is gone,
then there is nothing wrong.
then it's nothing wrong.
But if your health is gone,
If your health is gone,
that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your character dies,
If your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior,
Only saintly behavior,
that's humanity
lets humanity
thrive.
thrive.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
We must always remember Krishna.
We must always remember Krishna
We never forget him too.
and never forget him too.
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
But how are we to practice this with so many things to do?
That is the greatest question.
That is the greatest question.
And here is the greatest clue.
And here is the greatest clue.
You can only
You must
learn to look so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you.
So listen very closely.
So listen very closely
And make your thinking sharp.
and make your thinking sharp.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart.
If something due tomorrow,
If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today.
finish it today.
Whatever's due today,
Whatever's due today,
do it now. Don't delay.
do it now, don't delay.
Your friends might be lazy
Your friends might be lazy
or doing bad things,
or doing bad things,
but you think again.
but you think again,
Don't follow them.
don't follow them,
And you will win
and you will win
the end.
in the end.
Whatever work we're given,
Whatever work we're given,
we do our very best.
we do our very best.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna
We only live with what we need and give Krishna
the rest.
the rest.
This is how to live the world and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day.
When our time is up, he'll take us up above. We'll sing and dance with him with our hearts full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We sing and dance with him with the heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. He's the only in this world can ever become sane.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. The only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest
Now
question
please ask this greatest question
and find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna.
You can only remember Krishna
If Krishna remembers you.
if Krishna remembers you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah.
Jai. His Holiness Srila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasta Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswami Namine. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vasta Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pachayana Nirvishesha Sundari Pashatari Sarine. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, dear devotees, for your wonderful wishes for Krishna Sampar Krishna Prabhu and your wonderful realizations. And I think we've got Kanchan Mataji also saying,
Thank you, Kanchan Mataji, as well, for your nice wish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll meet next week, same place, same time. Till then, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Divyanshi, have a good trip. Hare Krishna. Keep chanting and be happy.